Here we go.
Konnichiwa from the land of the rising sun. It is Stick Drift, a bi-weekly show where we talk about the world of video games and the culture surrounding them, and also about Japanese culture this episode. My name is Power Glover, and joining me this week and all the time is Noah Rada.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Good. He's still acclimating, guys. He's still acclimating. But we'll
yeah.
get the spiel over and then we'll talk about it. If you like it or you hate it, please would you rate it? Follow that rule of cool and leave a like on that little mic. You can find us out on YouTube at StickDriftPodYT, on Twitter/X at StickDriftYT, and lastly on our Facebook page StickDrift, even though I need to update that. So forget that for a minute. We're also on Spotify. Each of our content has its own channel. So for a specific podcast, please subscribe to each to make sure you get the newest audio content in your feed. So you're acclimating to this new schedule. You're having trouble sleeping. Is that what you told me before?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just taking too many naps during the day, and so it's just
Oh,
messing up
I
my
wish I was you.
sleep schedule. Um,
Yeah, yeah. You little EP, just a little EP boy. That's all you are.
yeah, yeah. I need to just tough it out and not take naps so that I can actually sleep at night, I think, now that I'm kind of acclimated.
Yeah.
So,
You're doing the Minotti hibernations. That's what he does. He works at home. He sleeps
yeah,
during the day too a little bit. He's like, I gotta stop taking naps.
yeah.
So yeah. Well, the reason he's so sleepy, boys and girls, is because he just came from, like I said in the spiel, the land of the rising sun, Japan.
Yep, I
How
was
was it?
there.
Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have
Yeah,
a
I
good time?
did. It was good. Yep, it's a great country to visit, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, better than America, right?
Ah, every country has its ups and downs, so but
Let's just say it's calmer. It's probably calmer. What's
uh,
going on, right?
again, every country has its ups and downs. That's debatable too, but I certainly
Yeah.
think it might be a little bit less wild underneath the hood, but it's always wild underneath the hood, no matter where you go. So
Oh, that's what I hear. Yeah, I've been playing all these Japanese video games and they involve a lot of folks following you with swords and trying to cut you up. So that's what I think about Japan. That's what like
that's
if
what
I
they
were to
do.
go there, that's what would happen. Yeah,
Swords,
yeah.
yeah, there's swords everywhere, yep, and they're
They're like,
always trying to cut you.
I have a katana and you're dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's neither here nor there. But
yeah, you have to.
yeah, so that's the topic. I wanted to get the topic at the top because this is what we should talk about. Noah, regale us with your Japanese escapades. That sounds weirder than I meant it, but tell us what you did there. Did you do anything fun?
Yeah, yeah. I was in Osaka, so I kind of went around uh saw all the sites in that surrounding area. Went up to like Nara, checked out the shrines up there and the deer up there. I got like
Yeah,
tame deer that kind of roam around, and you can pet them and stuff. Like, yeah, they're,
yeah.
it's pretty wild. There's
I
tons of them.
heard what was the deer? What was the thing? You got nipped, right?
Yeah,
I
I
think you
got
nipped
nipped.
them.
Yeah, I had like bought some deer crackers from like a stand, and them deer they know when you have the deer crackers, and they kind of just surround you, and then they start nipping at you till you give them the deer crackers, and one of them nipped me in the butt. I'm like, okay, fine, you can have the deer crackers. Holy crap!
You're like enough. They circle you and they're like,
Yeah,
"You ain't from around here, stranger."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just kind of go there too, and you can see all like the foreigners like buying the deer crackers and getting mauled by deer. That's what was happening to me.
It's awesome. I love that. So you saw some deer. We got those in America. What did
These
you
are
do
like
that was
small
new?
ones
Did you
though.
do anything new?
But yeah, like I said,
How small? Like,
they were about the size of like an American fawn, I'd say. The full sized ones.
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty small. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, they had like some shrines up there that were pretty awesome. I got to see like observe a Shinto like offering, like but from a like priest doing like a Shinto offering up there, so that was kind of cool to see. Um, so yeah, it was cool. a beautiful like religious place. And yeah, and then yeah, I went to the aquarium up there in Osaka. They have the two only whale sharks in captivity in the world, so um,
Oh wow.
yeah, they're pretty dang big.
Yeah. Whale sharks. I'm not. Yeah. Whale sharks. Do they have teeth? They have teeth, right?
No, no, they've got they like suck things in. They're more whale than shark.
Oh right. I
Yeah,
couldn't picture it in my head, but like now that you say that, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Sure. Sure. Gotcha.
I think they eat like
Okay.
krill and
The
stuff.
aquarium.
So
Oh, okay. Every time I think of krill, I think of Nemo. Swim away.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
for sure. Well, so yeah, you went and did a couple things like you saw the Shinto offering. You what was it called? Denden Town. You
yeah,
rode around
yeah.
there a
So
lot, right?
I was about half a mile from Denden town, and I was in Nipponbashi, that kind of area. And
Okay.
so yeah, Denden town was like a huge center for like retro anime and gaming. Um, and so there's a lot of like shops that were like catered to that sort of thing.
Mm.
And then there was also like a ton of like maid cafes and things like that in that area, like a ton of those.
Ooh.
Yeah. It yeah, I guess it's also considered like the gay Akihabara, I guess. Um
Oh, okay.
it's yeah, there are there's a lot of like stuff that I guess isn't in Akihabara that's there basically. So but yeah, and there was a lot of women there too. A lot of women in like the maid cafes and stuff as well there. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. What's some like what's some tips that you I guess learned because like this is your first time going to this country. Like,
yeah,
is
yeah,
there something that you ended up doing that made you feel like a newbie? And did you find like a better way to do something? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Did you have any
yeah.
tips and tricks?
There was a lot of like just like things that I'm like I think overall I figured I probably could have saved myself like $400 or so just by like not being stupid and like knowing what I was doing. So it's
Yeah.
just stuff
Yeah.
like general travel stuff like don't let your luggage get over the weight limit, otherwise you have to pay a hefty fine to get
Oh,
it checked. And then just
right,
stuff
right.
um like don't book your flight for super early in the morning because none of the public transportation runs super early in the morning, and so you'll have to
Oh,
take a
interesting.
taxi to
Hmm.
get anywhere, and that's expensive. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So like, so what time do people work in the morning? Like what like their time, I guess.
So every at least like the shops and stuff, like breakfast places didn't really open until at least 9, and then
Oh wow.
like shops didn't open till like at least 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know countries do it differently because like America's like we're obsessed with doing things all the time.
Yeah.
Like I think, but yeah, I hear it's different in other places. My sister, she lives in Spain, um, and yeah, it's like there too. It's very
They have like the siesta up
slow
there, right?
pouring. We'll call it that. Yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah, they have
Yeah.
siestas for sure.
Yeah.
And like that's not a joke.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, we'll work from like 9 to let's say lunch,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll each have a 2.5 hour lunch where we go home.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. You take
And
a
then
nap.
she'll go back to work. Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy. I'm like, I mean, if only we had this concept in America, we would be a
Yeah.
lot more, better rested.
Yeah.
Yes, siestas, that it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's kind of, and then like most things close by like most shops close by 7 ish, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
the most like bars and stuff are closed by like 10 or 11. So
Okay. Yeah. Pretty early.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, like compared to just like what Americans are used to.
Mhm.
Like it's just it's so different.
Yeah.
So different. But, yeah. Okay. So you said your favorite part was going to Den Den Town and kind of mucking around there. Um, your least favorite part was going where? I forget. Like
I,
we were
yeah,
talking
I
about this in
think
chat the other night.
I think like I don't know, like I think probably my worst like shopping district experience was probably Dotonbori, and that was also in like the Nippon-bashi area. And that
Mhm.
was just because like everything was just marked up compared to Denden Town. There is more like a
Right.
more I guess touristy place. So
Hmm.
whereas
Hmm.
Denden Town was less touristy. So um,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and then
Okay. Okay.
the yeah, and then I went up. I was the main reason for going up was for like the World's Fair, and like it was cool to see everything there at the World Expo, but it was like the it was just so crowded. Like it was just so crowded. You couldn't get in to see like anything, and like um
Mm.
it was just pretty stressful, honestly. And so like
Oh yeah.
it was like it was really cool to see everything. It was like once in a lifetime thing, but like it
Oh
was
yeah.
also
Yeah.
just like I'm not sure if I needed 2 days because we did 2 days there.
Hmm.
And I think one day might have been enough, but yeah, it was fine. It was just like it like the first day was like a highlight, but then like the second day was just like yeah, um it just wasn't what wasn't able to really get anywhere or do anything. Just was stuck in crowds most of the day. So
Yeah. I get you. I get you. Okay. And you were there for was it 2 weeks exactly? I think, or was it close
yeah,
to it?
it was about 2 weeks. It was like 10 days like actually there. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. A lot of travel. A lot of travel. I hear.
Yep. Lots of switching planes and stuff to get there and to get back. So because I live in a
Mhm.
podunk town, so
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you had it's interesting being exposed to another culture. I mean,
yeah.
how many countries have you been to besides
That
Japan, I guess?
that's
Have you
the
been
only
around?
one that I've been to outside the U.S. So
Okay.
yeah.
The only one I've been outside the US is Canada because I have family up there.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't been off of North America, which,
Yeah.
one day we'll get to that. My wife's been everywhere. She's been to Nicaragua and a couple other places,
Yeah.
Haiti. Her grandma has a charity in Haiti
Hmm.
that they run. So,
Fun.
um, yeah, yeah, she's been all over the place. So, yeah, that's awesome. Any other little bits and bobs to kind of talk about your Japan trip, or do you kind of want to sew it up there?
I mean, I can keep going on it. The
Yeah,
went
it's
up
your trip.
to
I want to hear as
yeah
much as you want to say.
yeah
So,
went up to Kyoto a couple days. One of the days we accidentally found this that out that there was a international manga and anime fair going on up there. Um, like one of the days we were up at Kyoto, and so we're like, oh, let's just go to that. And
yeah.
so we got there, kind of poked around, found like where like the like fair was going on. And the fair was just like a traditional like Japanese like fair with like food stalls, entertainment, and stuff like that. But then they had like
Mm,
an actual like convention hall like rented out, and that's where like the actual like convention was going on. And it it was cool because it was like seemed to be put on by like the actual like anime studios, and so they were like showing off like new seasons for shows or like brand new shows that haven't aired yet and stuff like that. So
mhm.
it was cool to see,
Sick.
cool to get stuff from like the actual vendors. So um,
Yeah, yeah. Was it so? You mentioned getting around was a little stressful. Did you guys have any like not just stressful moments of getting around, but like kind of shady moments? Did you have any like shady moments in Japan, or was that kind of everything
Um,
feel kind of safe there? Or
I mean, I think the anytime it was like nighttime, just like going through like alleyways and stuff, it was a little bit, fishy. But I don't think I wasn't too worried because like they've got that thing kind of locked down in terms of like who can have like weaponry and stuff like that. So
right, yeah, they're
and
very adamant about that.
I'm kind of a big enough guy to where I'm not typically worried about getting jumped or anything like that. So
Well, I mean, you have martial arts training as well. I'm not
yeah.
worried about you necessarily, but even in a situation like that, it's like, eh, you
It's
know.
sketchy, yeah. The only time that it was like super sketchy was when I was going back to my hotel and I had a bunch of like stuff from Den Den Town and my GPS took me through like a park with like all like the homeless and
Mm,
stuff and like the
mm,
the just like the what do they call them? Like the guys that are just like I don't necessarily think they were like dangerous guys. They were just like they tried to look scary. They had like dyed their hair blonde and like had like tattoos and stuff and like so
mm.
they had like those kind of guys there. I just kind of like walked past them. So, but
Gotcha,
that's kind of what you
gotcha.
do in that situation. You
Interesting.
just don't look at them and you just kind of walk past them. But uh,
Mind your business. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But that was
Okay.
probably the sketchiest time. But for the most part, it's actually not very sketchy at all in the Osaka Kyoto area. So
That's good. Yeah, that's good. It's good for someone just going and hanging out, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool. Okay. So what'd you get? You got a bunch of stuff. You came back with a haul of stuff, right?
yeah. I got a bunch of like anime and gaming soundtracks. I found the soundtrack for Bravely Default and a like a remixed soundtrack of Octopath Traveler. Um,
Sick.
So, and I got a bunch of anime soundtracks as well. Like I got all of the um, Monogatari music, like openings and endings up until like the latest season. So, um,
Sick. Yeah.
yeah, but
Cool. Cool.
yeah. So yeah, I just got a bunch of like that kind of stuff, and then I got just like a couple of like figurines. I got like a Sakuya from Toho figurine, and then I got I actually won a couple figurines in claw machines. I got
Oh
one.
yeah.
One of them like was like I spotted it in just a random store, and I'm like, this thing would be so easy to get. I better just get this thing. And so my first move, I had never done one of the like Japanese claw machines before, so I didn't really know how to control it. So I kind of just spent the first move like learning how to control the thing. And then after
Yeah.
that, it took me 4 moves for a total of 500 yen to get like this Q Posket figurine, which is a pretty fair sized figurine, about like this size or so. And it's yeah, I think it's like sort of like a girl's like little girl's sort of thing. So I'm just gonna give it to my niece because she likes the anime stuff, and so she'll
Sure.
probably like
Yeah.
it. But it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, I don't really need this thing, but I can win it, and so I'm going to because like 500 yen is probably like $3 somewhere around there, like $3.25. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I played the claw machine game in Yakuza Zero. I
yeah,
know.
yeah. Um,
So it's just like you have like a couple moves to get where you need to go in the drop, and you have like a couple of turns to do that, or what?
you get one move per 100 yen that you put in there. Basically, is how the claw machines work. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So
Interesting.
anytime
Okay.
you want more
Understood.
moves, you just put in 100 yen. Um, I was doing another one at an actual like arcade, and that one was 3 moves for 500 yen, so it was a little bit less of a deal. And I was also doing that one completely like it was at its base place, like nobody had worked on that item yet, and so I had to do all of the moves myself on that one, whereas this other one I found was like basically done. I don't know if it was like somebody had worked on it or if like it was just put in there like that. But either way, it was basically done. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get this thing. Whereas this one was like, it was a free run, and I was like, I kind of want this free run. I bet I can get this thing. So I kind of just started working on it. That one probably took me. I think I took like 3,000 yen to get that one. So about $20. And but that one was like worth 4,000 yen, so I still came out on top getting it through the claw machine. But I had like I had a few like moves trying to figure out. It was a different one. I had to hook a claw onto a little tag that was on top of the box of the figurine. And so I had to kind of move it, figure out the positioning and where exactly I needed to get it to like get the most drag on the thing. But yeah, I was able to figure that one out. Took me like 18 or so moves, but I got it. So
nice. Speaking of Japanese games, you frequented well, not frequented. You went one or two times to
I went
to
once,
arcade.
to an arcade. Yeah, I it's one of my biggest regrets on the trip is that I didn't go to the arcade more. I just didn't think about it. There was so much going on. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in the rhythm game section of the arcade. Playing some like Konami games. There was one that was like it seemed like a really old cabinet, but it had like brand new music on it, so that was kind of interesting. It was like a CRT
cool.
cabinet, and but it had like it had
so they put like
new like new Vocaloid and new it had like Undertale music in it, and it had like Toho music in it. So and
so they put like a new like board in there or whatever.
Yeah. It like two of the characters, like the playable characters in it were like Reimu and Sans, and I think Marisa was also a playable character from Toho. But yeah, they had Sans and Reimu, so I played as Reimu. But
yeah,
that was cool. But yeah, and then they had one next to it that was like a Guitar Hero, or more like a Rock Band clone. But I was doing like the guitar part of it because I don't like the drum part. But that one was fun too. That one was a brand new one though. It had like a new sticker on it, and it had like this big warning that was like, "This thing is not for use outside of Japan." So
oh wow.
But it was fully translated to English. That one was fully in English. The other one was not fully in English, but this one was fully in English, so I was able to pick it up pretty easily. And yeah, that one was fun. It had a lot of like Undertale music, a lot of Vocaloid music, and a lot of Toho music. So
sick. Okay. Well, what was your favorite thing you played there before we
yeah, I only played those two, but I probably like the Guitar Hero one or the Rock Band one better, just because I didn't really understand the Konami one was like an 8 or 9 button, like you just press the buttons. They're all like aligned like horizontally. You got to press them in time, and my brain didn't really comprehend that. I didn't really have like the spatial awareness of like where the buttons were and stuff like that to keep up with it.
Sure.
Whereas with like the like the guitar thing, I'm like, yeah, I've played a Guitar Hero before. I know how to do this. So I don't play those often, but I've played them enough to where I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So I had more fun with that one, I'd say, just because I understood what I was doing more.
Yeah, for sure. So if you had to say one or two things to someone wanting to go to Japan, what would you say to them to kind of prepare them or give them a couple pointers on what to expect.
Yeah, I'd say it's don't expect it to be a magical fairy tale land, right? It's a normal place with normal people living their normal lives. And it's at the end of the day, like most places tourists are gonna go to are just kind of like crappy metropolises. They have their ups and downs. As somebody who's from a very small town, it's kind of culture shock for me being in like a big like metropolis city like that. But it's nice. It's pretty clean, but it has like its bad parts, and it has like it's cracks and things like that. You just gotta kind of just enjoy it regardless. Of those things. Don't let those things like drag you down from the experience. At the end of the day, you're there because you are interested in something there, whether it's like the culture or the gaming or anime or anything like that, the history, whatever it is, or just seeing the views and sights, whatever. But that all is there, and that all is fantastic. So I definitely recommend it to anyone who's thinking about it. It's worth it. It really is. It's difficult getting up there. It's a lot of work getting there, and then a lot of work like getting around as well. I think I was averaging like close to 20,000 steps a day, and so
Wow.
yeah, we expect to do a lot of walking, but
Mhm. Yeah, sweet.
yeah, but yeah, and then just prepare yourself for like I was saying earlier, like understand how the public transportation works as best you can. There's a couple times where we got lost just in like the public transportation like system. We didn't quite understand how to get from A to B. Then we started to figure it out. So that those things just happen, and then just plan ahead a little bit when you're like planning your flights and things like that to be at decent times so you can actually get access to that public transportation. And
Okay. Sick.
just
Sick.
don't be afraid to just explore around, and figure stuff out. Because you're not gonna know, where all the best places are and like what the best things are to do, your first time. And that's like how we found Nara, for instance. Like I just saw like a advertisement for it. I'm like, hey, let's go here. This looks cool. And then we probably was like one of our favorite things we did there. So
Okay. Yeah. That's Japan. You went to it.
yeah,
That's fun. Awesome. Good tips. I'd like to go travel.
yeah,
I don't know when that will happen because
yeah,
I have a child. So
yeah. Japan's a
hopefully
pretty
one
good
day.
place though. It's a pretty good place if you're looking to travel. So
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely think.
yeah,
Pardon me.
it's fun.
Yeah, let's do a big old segue, but first let's take a quick bricky break. What do you say?
Sure.
Arigato. We talked about Japan, and now we played a video game. What's got Japan in it? We've been
Oh,
playing some Silent Hill F.
it's like
Silent
Place
Hill.
Japan.
Silent Hill. Yeah, Silent Hill. Yeah, this is my most anticipated game this year.
Oh,
I
wow.
have really wanted to play this thing. It looked
More
so
so
killer
than
from the tiny reveal bit.
that Bloober team Chronos or whatever.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
so. Yeah. Chronos looked cool. But Silent Hill, I've gained a massive appreciation for that series now
Yeah, you
having
have.
played the second one, played a good deal of the enhanced PC port and touching 3 and 1.
Yeah,
I
three's
just love
super
that
good too.
series
I love
now.
three.
Yeah, there's just
Like
something
two is
about
like
it,
the best one, but three is like super good too. One's kind of hard to get
Yeah, the
into.
best way to
I'm hoping that
yeah.
that remake is really good for one.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say they started full production on that today,
Yeah,
or they have been in full production on that.
yeah. Bloober team, right?
So hopefully that's good. It's Bloober Team.
Yep.
Yeah, it is the
Yep.
same studio, and they're gonna knock it out of the park.
Yep.
Yeah, I cannot extol the virtues of that remake of the second one enough. It is it might be one of the best remakes. It's like there with Dead Space and Resident Evil 2. It's up there.
Yeah.
So you can kind of move those in whatever order. But anyway, Silent Hill F. You played
Because
more of
F
this
is
than I have.
funnier than
How
Q.
many hours? That's man, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. I'm glad you brought that gem up. F is funnier than Q. What is that from again? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on
Come
this? I
on.
remember this.
I'll give you a second.
I can't do it. Sonic F. Sonic
Yes,
F.
you got it. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remembered.
By the Sonic Shorts team,
I
Sonic
died.
Paradox. Yep.
Sonic Paradox, yeah.
Yeah.
I died, but then I got
better.
That's so good. That's so good. Anyway, you played Silent Hill F. How many hours are you in?
Not very. I'm not very far in it. I've got just like maybe 3 hours. It's showing 5 hours, but I left it
Okay.
on like a couple times, so I've got like maybe 3 hours, maybe less. But it's fun. Yeah, I haven't gotten too far into it. I just got like past like the first like I'd say like the first like prologue-ish stuff of it I've gotten past. Now I'm like into like the actual like gameplay of it. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm about an hour in, I would say.
yeah.
I just got done with the setup, with the like, hey, I have this pipe and I'm hitting you with it. Like that's
Yeah,
where
and
I'm at.
I'm quite a bit past that, so
Sure. Initially, I guess, what are your initial thoughts of it? Like, you basically said you're not completely into it yet, but like,
yeah.
what do you like about it? What do you dislike? Like, kind of give me your read on it.
Yeah, I like I like the setting, the world building, I think it's really unique thing for gaming, at least. Manga and anime
Yeah,
have used this setting a lot, but I haven't seen like horror games use this setting a whole lot and this like character cast a whole lot. So, it's like playing a
right,
Junji
right.
Ito um,
Oh yeah,
novel. So, like
it's like a staple of that genre
yeah,
of manga,
yeah,
like Junji Ito. This is the Tomie analog, like not Tomie, but like the schoolgirl analog
yeah,
in
yep,
like a creepy, you know, like metropolis or something, like or a small Japanese town. Like it's
yeah.
very alley, very
Well,
tombs, that
yeah,
sort of
and
way.
the
So
writer for this thing is Ryukishio Seven, which if you don't know him,
yes,
he did the dang When They Cry series. So like Higurashi When They Cry, Umineko When They Cry. He did those visual novels. And those are like very beloved horror visual novels. People really like Umineko. I've yet to touch Umineko myself, but I have watched the anime for Higurashi a long time ago, and I really enjoyed that series. So yeah, he's good at like psychological horror. Basically, that's kind of what he likes to do. And so they brought
yeah,
him on as
yeah.
the
And the
writer
writing
for
so far,
this thing.
right? Sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
No,
the writing so far is very strong for what I've seen.
yeah,
Um, I like the setup. I like the character you're playing. Her kind of like at home situation is very tenuous.
hmm,
With her
yeah,
alcoholic father and mother that kind of allows it just
yeah.
to like retain some sort of like, I don't
Un
know, comfortability.
yeah, and unfortunately, that's like a really like common theme in these sort of like Japanese psychological things. Like that's something I've seen a lot. Like that's actually also used as a major crux for a character in the Garden of Sinners, for instance. Like there's like a whole movie that's like dedicated to like resolving a particular character's like arc with their family, and like they have like the father that's like an alcoholic, and then the mother that just kind of like sticks around because she feels like she has to, and so
Yeah,
um,
yeah, sticks around. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a common thing in these sort of things, unfortunately. And yeah, it's a bit of an epidemic anywhere you go, really. So
Yeah, I mean, when you have people, you'll have flaws, and
yeah,
vice. That's a lot of it, and also just a lot of there's a lot of emotionality immediately in this
yeah,
thing, um, and like you said, the setting's really unique, like a '60s Japanese, like um, kind of not Midwestern town, but like sleepy Japanese town.
yeah,
You play as a schoolgirl, it's really it does it has the analogs and tropes of very famous media, Japanese media, but I feel like it's doing a nice spin on the Silent Hill formula that you don't normally see. So like the thing about Silent Hill up to this point is that every game has taken place in America. Um, it is a it is basically a Japanese developer's version of Americana. That is what
yeah,
Silent Hill is as a series.
yeah,
So seeing them go back and kind of break it down at the studs like this
hmm,
and revamp it in a very, very distinct way is super cool. I like that about this game.
yeah,
Um, and like you said, you're a little further than me. But what I love about this game is the music is just otherworldly and ethereal and very monastic with like some of the chanting and stuff that it kind of gets up to. It's very unique. It's got an interesting like soundscape to it. And this is something I lauded the Silent Hill 2 remake for was the sound design is just impeccable in that game. And this feels like in keeping with that as well.
yeah. And this is
I
like
don't know
a
how you
whole
feel
like
about it, but
entirely different team too. So it's crazy how like Konami is just like
yeah,
putting out like banger after banger like this. Like it's like a new like renaissance for Konami, really. After going
yeah,
like
it's
because they had the point where they
mhm,
were like, we're not doing games anymore. We're just focusing on our pachinko,
yeah,
stuff. And then just all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I guess we're back now. By the way, so and
yeah,
like now they're just like going like full force with like Silent Hill, and I'm sure
yeah.
they've got some other stuff too going on that I'm not thinking of, but Silent Hill is like their biggest thing right now, I would think. So
It's coming back in a big way. Like they for the longest time were like, hey, we're doing pro evolution soccer and the health clubs.
yeah,
We're getting out of video games,
yeah,
kind of. Because like Konami in Japan is more than video games.
yeah,
Like it is an institution there. Like
yeah,
health clubs, gyms, businesses, like different. It's different. It's very diverse. Konami, um, and they kind of like receded in the background and decided not to do this. But it's up until the last few years where we were getting rumbles of Silent Hill being rebooted, remakes were happening. Um, and basically they wanted to reinvest in video games, right? And there's also a rumor too that they are rebooting Castlevania
yeah,
after these Silent Hill games have come out. So I'm interested to see that. But you've also seen like their fruits already be born, like the Silent Hill 2 remake hit, the Metal Gear Solid Delta remake hit, or Metal Gear Solid 3 remake called Metal Gear Solid Delta hit, and was very well received. Then you have this brand new Silent Hill game here, and they even have another project besides the Bloober Team remake of one in the works. They're working on a new Silent Hill called Silent Hill Townfall. So like so far their track record is pretty immaculate. And so I'm really excited to see how they build off of this and keep going because they're very interested in doing a lot with Silent Hill. And so far it has been more than successful in my opinion.
yeah,
So yeah. Um yeah, it's just like I said, I haven't played I want to play more of it. I've been honestly right now for video games is absolutely absurd. There's it might be the most crowded month and a half I can think of. Like
yeah,
I just to name off the top of my head, we had Silent Hill come out. We had Ghost of Yote comes out tonight. Trails in the Sky hit last week. Baby Steps I'm interested in. The Mario Galaxy remasters, those are coming out. I mean, that's not even including Pokemon later this month, Outer Worlds 2 this month. Like it's insane. It's an
Yeah.
insane time to be playing video games. And Silksong just came out, Hades 2 just came out, which I'll get to at some point. But like it's been an insane release calendar.
Yeah.
Um
I've
but
even
like
got
I
like
want
a
to give
lot of
Silent Hill
like
my full attention.
got like a lot of indie stuff that I'm like playing too, where I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
like bouncing around from indies, and I'm like, they're all things that I really want to give time to, but I don't even like know where to put
Yeah.
my time right now. So on top of like wanting
I
to play
am
like some of these AAA things as well. So
Yeah, totally. Like I'm literally no joke. I have created a spreadsheet for myself to set up hour counts for these games so I can beat them in specific orders so I can touch as much as possible. Like that's excuse me, that's where I'm at. Where I'm
yeah,
like, okay, this game's 5 to 10 hours. I gotta play this next. Because it's all stuff I want to play. It's just a matter of having the time, you know? And so I look up like how long to beat, put it in the spreadsheet and go, yeah, I got time for this weekend. Let's knock it out. And that's how I've been attacking this stuff. But this month has been crazy. And it's continuing to be so. But for the hour or so that I played Silent Hill F, I'm not sure what the subtitle's about. Do they kind of get into that, or is it just kind of what the game's called? I don't know. Like the F, does it mean anything in the
yeah,
game? I don't
it's funnier
think
than Q.
so.
We discussed it.
Well, yeah. I think it's just a subtitle, just like their code name. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think it means anything.
probably
But
not.
you
They
know,
yeah, I've seen a lot of games like just put F in there as like a sequel denoter, or like a reboot
okay.
denotation. Like
Oh,
the
really? Interesting.
yeah, because like Project Diva, for instance, I'm a Project Diva guy. They when they moved to Vita, they dropped like putting like calling it like Project Diva 2 or Project Diva Extend. Then when those were all on the PSP, there was Diva, Diva 2, and Diva Extend, and then when they moved to the Vita, they did um uh Project Diva F, and then they did Project Diva F second, and then they did Project Diva X.
Oh,
So
oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting.
yeah,
So yeah, I see what you're saying. A denotion of what a sequel is
yeah,
just kind of like a
even
letter or
more
whatever.
so
I get you.
like a reboot almost. Like this is like distinct because it's on the Vita, and we can do a lot more, and we don't lag out the wazoo
Interesting.
whenever you're trying to play charts. So
Yeah, yeah, because like, okay, so yeah, I'm tracking with you because um recently there was the Tales game. They did this with
yeah,
Tales of Grace's F.
yeah,
They did the same thing. I didn't actually think about that. You bringing this up just reminded me.
yeah.
And that is, it's not a reboot, but it's like a reintroduction of that game,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a
That's what this is
re
supposed to be.
project,
I
you know?
think it's like a reintroduction. Like this is them saying we want to restart Silent Hill, and this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna
Yeah,
have it
yeah,
take place in Japan. So
right, right. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the game, like all that stuff aside, I think it plays pretty well from what I played. The combat does not seem, it feels okay. So this is just from my initial feelings. I feel like if there's a lot of it, which I hear there is, it might grow stale. I hope they
mm-hmm.
diversify it slightly. It doesn't feel bad. I just don't know how much
I,
I'm in
I I
for. You know what
think
I mean?
for me it's the like it feels like unrealistically good. Like she
Okay.
moves in a way that I don't think a little girl her age should be moving. And so
Uh, she's literally dash canceling around
yeah,
these zombies. Like
exactly.
she's going, "Whoop." Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so like I don't know, why aren't we allowed to do tank controls anymore? Like the whole point of tank controls was to, make you feel helpless, like, like you were in a disadvantage against the enemies of the night. Like why can't we just have a modern game with modern graphics and have the tank controls, make it to where you feel sluggish, and like it doesn't have to be tank controls, but like you also don't need to be like dash canceling around the map, as like a helpless
Yeah.
girl, Like I don't think
It
she's got
does
a
there
background
is
in pipe fighting, so
hide fighting, yeah. It's that term. It's that ludo narrative dissonance
yeah.
where like the story is dictating something that you don't think the character would be able to do, but
Yeah.
gameplay relative stuff is different. Like, for instance, you're playing an Uncharted game. Nathan Drake is killing 30,000 people, and then when he's in like a cutscene, he gets shot once, and he's like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's ludonarrative dissonance."
yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So like stuff, it's not one to one. Like it's just
yeah.
very different scales depending on how it's being presented.
I just
Um,
think that older horror games were able to manage that better than this. But I mean, yeah, it feels good to control. Like, yeah, it feels like I'm
it
playing
does,
like
it
a
does.
Souls like almost. Like, yeah, man, you got it, guys. You did it. You got a good controlling character, but I don't think this character needed that.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I'm saying. Like,
The So basically the thing that I'm saying about diversifying combat is I think it's all melee focused. I don't think there's any
hmm
guns in this game. The difference between this and like a Silent Hill 2 is that that had, the nail and bat, whatever you want to call that thing. Um, but they also had the guns.
yeah. Well,
That's from the first
I
one.
don't
Like
think
this
these
one's not
things
like
need to
that
be
at all.
combat focused either. I think that's like a big problem people will have had with like a lot of these remakes of these old survival horror games, that they add a lot of combat. Because after Resident Evil 4, every survival horror has kind of had to
Yeah,
turn into an action game first rather
true.
than a horror game, survival game
I
first.
would
And
yeah,
so,
I
um,
would say the best one to capture that is genuinely Resident Evil 2. It balances that perfectly. In both versions, I played both versions extensively, and I mean, I beat the Resident Evil 2 remake like 4 times.
yeah.
But like the old game balances this very well. It
hmm
has very set spawns for characters and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I there's this GIF I saw on Twitter of what's the girl's name in Silent Hill F. I forget what her name is. The main girl.
yeah, I know.
She it starts with like a C, I think. Anyway, um, she basically has like this GIF where she's
Hinako.
dash canceling around the enemy. Okay, sorry, yeah. And she's hitting one of the marionettes with a pipe, and then the thing tries to get up, and she holds the pipe over it again, and then it stays on the ground. I was like, this is pretty good. Kind of making
Yeah.
fun of her move set, which is
Yeah.
cool. But
It's
yeah,
like I said, yeah, it's a really well controlling moveset. Like, yeah, it feels good to play. It feels
yeah,
almost like I'm playing a Souls like, but I don't know if this thing really needs that like good of crisp movement and controls, but because it takes me out of
I
like the
just
horror
don't.
aspect
Yeah,
of it.
I just don't
But
know how well it's gonna do for the long run. Like,
mhm.
is it gonna be too much combat? That's kind of where I'm at because I
Yeah,
want the puzzles, I want the
yeah,
story. Like, if is
exactly.
it going to focus too much on that? Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm
I and I
interested.
I've kind of yeah, I've got like my combat set to story mode. And then I've got my puzzles set to hard
Same.
mode.
It's
Cuz
100% the same.
yeah.
100% the same. Yeah.
Cuz I was looking through the
Yep.
options and I'm like, yeah, I don't really come to these things for the combat. I could care less about the combat. It does have the nice like inventory management, so that's fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've
Mm-hmm.
got that classic inventory management, but the yeah, and then just like the puzzles, yeah, they've been pretty decent so far. I've been enjoying them so far. So, um,
Yeah. Yeah. And it does the survival horror thing where they have the notes scattered everywhere. And like you said with Ryukishio 7, it's really well written. Just everything,
yeah,
every word, every letter, every sentence you're finding is very
yep,
good,
yep,
very well constructed.
absolutely. Yeah, the
It
notes
never
have been
feels like it's
really
wasting your
interesting.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's cool, like they kind of reached out to this kind of like lesser known person to come into a very established franchise
hmm
and put a spin on it. I
yeah,
like that. So
yeah,
more of
and
that, please. Yeah.
just yeah, it just happens to be a writer that I really appreciate. So I'm pretty happy that they got him in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Initial impressions, we're both into it.
yeah,
I'm definitely going to take to it more this weekend when I have
yeah,
some time. It's not very long. It's 10 to 12
yeah,
hours. It's definitely something you could beat in a
yeah.
weekend. So
The
I'm kind of
I'd say
there
the
with it.
biggest
So
thing I'm happy with this thing is that they didn't go open world with it. The biggest sin that a game can do right
yeah,
now, I think,
yeah,
is shove in open world mechanics without the the depth of gameplay variety and the depth of like things to do to back it up. Like if you're gonna go open world, do it like an Elden Ring or like a Tears of the Kingdom. Like those games, they knew how to do it. And Breath of the Wild 2, they knew how to do it. But not every game has to go open world. Like I'm very skeptical on Prime 4 because they're going open world with that thing, and that thing is
It
known for
depends. Yeah.
its tightly knit Metroidvania gameplay. That's what I like. I don't play those games to play a empty desert simulator, So, um,
I mean, I get where you're coming from. So a couple of my points are: first thing is, I don't think Silent Hill dictates that sort of design. I think they're scoped correctly for what they're going for,
absolutely, yeah.
and they've never gone outside of that scope. Like when
Hmm.
you play a Silent Hill game, you know it's going to be a guided, directed effort.
Yeah, and that's what
I
I
don't
like in a
think it would
game.
fit in that mold. Yeah, I don't think it would fit in that open world, open zone mode.
Yeah,
The second thing is, I think there are games that fit that mold
yeah.
where there are ways to explore. Like Resident Evil 8 has a very cool, Resident Evil Village, I should say, has a very cool hub and spoke system. So you can, once you reach a point in the game, there's like a couple towns you go to, a couple villages, um, and you can kind of go off in whatever direction you want and then meet at the center point. It's very cool
Hmm.
that way. I like the way that game is designed, but it doesn't feel too sprawling. It's very
Hmm.
directed. It's like, hey, you have this wide area and then hallways this way, this way, this way.
Yeah.
Go do the thing. And then again, last year, Crow Country came out, does a very similar thing where you have this theme park and there are different avenues to different parts of the park. And when you brought up tank controls earlier, this reminded me of Crow Country. I'm like, oh, this would be the game for you too,
Yeah.
because they have an option to go to tank controls if you want to use them. So there's different ways you could go. As long as your game is scoped right and it fits that design mold, I'm okay with it. I feel like survival horror does not dictate open world design. I
Yeah.
don't think that it needs it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents. And then finally, the empty desert stuff for Metroid Prime. Get out of here. It's a bike. What do you want? It's a bike.
Empty
You gotta ride
desert.
around.
Desert.
People are crying about this, and I
No,
don't
I'm
understand.
crying
It looks
about this.
awesome.
I don't know about people, but
It
I
looks
am.
awesome.
Empty deserts? I
It looks
hate empty
awesome.
deserts. I hate open world. I hate empty
Dude,
deserts.
what are
So
in deserts? There's nothing in deserts. It's a desert. It's deserted.
okay, then
Correct?
it's not fun. Don't put it in a game then.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It's not out
I
until
know that.
December. We'll find out
I
together.
know that empty deserts aren't fun. Trust me, I've played enough open world. I've played enough Genshin
You know
Impact
what's
to
a
know
good
that
empty
empty
desert?
deserts aren't fun.
Assassin's Creed Origins has a great empty desert. That's not empty. It's like slightly empty. And if you start walking too far, you start hallucinating like you do in the desert. It's pretty cool. That's a good game. One of the best Assassin's Creeds. Anyway, that's the beginning hours of Silent Hill F. We both dig it a fair amount.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll be kind of talking about it as we kind of plug away at it. But yeah, so the idea here is usually we group games into two buckets. We have the new games and we have the old games. So I'm kind of trying something out this go around. We're gonna kind of ping pong, and we're just gonna mash it all together. We're gonna see how this goes. If it doesn't go well, we'll do it another way. But I'm trying it out this time. So this is our show. We're gonna figure it out. I have a quick check in with Silksong before we kind of get into
Silksong. That's not a
the
real
new
game.
Fire Emblem. Yeah, I know it doesn't exist. I'd like to Silk Post again.
Yeah.
There's a Fire Emblem game that came out too. We'll talk about that next. But a quick Silk Song check-in. It's not going to be the longest thing in the world. Um, I am venturing forth in Silk Song. I'm about 10 hours into that game. And for the most part, I think it's very good. I think it's extremely well designed. I think it's a gorgeous game. All the little bits of detail they put into this thing is
And it's the
it's
greatest
just
game of all
miraculous
time.
that they spent the time and every bit of it looks like it was touched by human hands. I
Yeah.
really like the presentation is fantastic. Um, there are a couple issues I have with it. So the economy in Silksong is really unforgiving. Like there's a couple new currencies here. One of them is called shards. One of them is called beads. Beads are finite in the world. You can find them like kind of dangling down from a roof, and you'll smack them around and pick them up, put them in your little purse. Um, but if you were to die, say, you'll lose all your beads. And you'll have like this cocoon on your map that you can go to whack and get all your currency back, very Souls like. If you lose that, those beads are gone forever. Um, and those are beads that have been that were placed in the world, but if you were to lose them, they're gone. There's ways to grind for them when you fight enemies, but the fact that you can't like go to those spots and just get a certain amount of them, it makes the economy feel really tight in a kind of frustrating way. Um, and it kind of dovetails into my next gripe with it. The runbacks in this game are really annoying, really annoying.
Mm.
It's way worse here than in Hollow Knight. So, for instance, you have a bench, right? There's a
Hmm.
lot of secret benches in this game. There's a lot of like hidden alcoves. There's a lot of fake benches that work like mimic benches where you sit on one and this thing will smack you and kill you because it's just, it's that gotcha sort of thing that I don't
Yeah,
like.
that's fun.
They do that here a little bit. It's not fun. And when you have one pip of health, it's really annoying. Because
Yeah.
who knows where you sat last,
So
right?
do
You're
you
looking for a
can you
rest
at
spot.
least like attack the bench to like stop it from doing that?
No, 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 no. It is a
Okay, then that's
trigger. Like you sit
dumb.
on it, and
That's
something,
dumb
yeah, and
then.
something swings down. And
Like at
it's
least like
terrible.
a
I
chest in
don't
like Dark
like it.
Souls, like you learn it's a learned behavior. Oh, I need to
Yeah,
smack chests before I open them. It takes like 1 second of your life to smack a chest before you open it. It's an easy to learn behavior.
yeah.
Um,
It's just a gotcha mechanic. It's just like a
that's
hey, I
dumb.
got you.
Yeah,
Like screw you. Yeah,
yeah.
it feels punitive in that way. It's a small gripe. There's not. I've only counted one bench like that, but it exists in the game. That's why I have a problem with it. But like I said, it dovetails into my biggest issue is the runbacks. When like benches are far away from bosses. Like getting from point A to point B is not hard, but it's monotonous when you have to do it 5 to 6 times because bosses in this game hit like trucks. Like every time they hit you, it's doing 2 to 3 pips of health at any given time. Every pip of your life bar is governed by 4 collectible mask shards, like in the original Hollow Knight. So at the beginning of the game, you have like 5 pips of health. So if you get hit once, like you're like half your life bar is gone, and it is really demoralizing to get wiped and have to run the entire freaking way back to the boss. And sometimes you have to fight on your way too. And most of the time you have to fight on your way. And if you want to do a boss well and effectively, you can't really get hit. There's ways to get your health back for sure, like in Hollow Knight. One, but it's just annoying that you have to do the rigmarole. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
even Elden or even FromSoft got away from this run back issue by
Mm-hmm.
introducing like the Stakes America because
Yep.
even they understood like, hey, this isn't fun.
That's
This
not
isn't
fun.
the fun
Yeah.
part we want you to do.
Yeah.
The fun part's engaging with the enemy in front of you, and we'd rather you throw your head against that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of the journey to get there and get wiped. Like
Well,
it's
yeah,
not
and
fun.
I mean
It's
the
just not fun.
journey is an important part. I think that people miss out on. Like they almost try and like skip around a lot in like Souls games. I like that journey part,
Yeah,
but when you're just trying to like fight the thing, then like you're done with the journey. Like the
yeah,
journey's over, and at that point, yeah, you don't want to interact with the stuff you've already interacted with, right? But I do think that people will sometimes like just rush through those areas and like not collect anything and not fight any enemies and just run past everything. That's boring. And that's what those runbacks
yeah,
were, right? In the older games, they were just you would just run past those things, and that's boring. So like, yeah, cut out the middleman, just have the stake there. But those maps are really interesting and well designed in Souls likes. That's like the
yeah.
biggest draw for me. I think is like those well designed maps. That's why I've kind of turned around a bit on Demon Souls because I do like those maps quite a bit. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's and this could be easily fixed. I mean, they
yeah,
could just put a
do a
bench
stake of
nearby.
America.
Like you,
Yeah, do a
yeah.
stake America
I
system. I
mean, not
mean,
even you. You
it's
don't even
been
have to do that. Just like put a bench like in the next room or something.
yeah,
Just do something like that.
yeah,
You know, and it gets really annoying, and it is a sort of friction that I just don't appreciate because this game is all explorations and boss fights. Um, like that's the entire game. there are some tweaks on the Hollow Knight formula. Like there's quests now that you could accept and fulfill, and they'll give you like rewards for that. There's a lot of new like movement capabilities and different kind of attack move sets. So for instance, like Hornet has a move set where like she has specific ways she attacks. She instead of doing the Hollow Knight like down slash, she has this like diagonal slash like this. It's like kind of like a
Yep.
diagonal move.
Yeah, like
But you can get
Reaper
a
Knight.
yeah, yeah, exactly, like a Reaper. Um, but then you can get a set of a move set that basically switches that to the Hollow Knight 1 move set. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Dashing diagonally is a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna go back to the Hollow Knight 1 move set." It's great. And apparently there's like 5 or 6 more move sets that are totally different, which is interesting. Um, but like, yeah, that's kind of like there's different things to do. There's different things to get. Um, it feels great to move around and great to run back and forth in, but you're doing that a lot. You're doing it a ton. You're engaging with, like you said, the same things you've been engaging with, and it's just demoralizing when you get beat because you're obviously going to get beat. It like I said, it could be mitigated with a shortcut. Like all you need is a shortcut to get from point A to point B faster, because you've basically reached the end of that journey. You need to have a shortcut at that point.
Yeah.
Because even the best of the best basically admitted like, hey, you don't want to do this again. Like not really. So it's a big gripe for me. It's a friction I don't appreciate, and it's slightly pushing me away. I'm trying to bust my head against it, but I've been trying to progress the narrative. There's 3 acts is what it looks like. I'm trying to get through Act 1 right now. I'm almost done. I think I'm at the final boss of Act 1, I'm pretty sure, because there was, like, a big cutscene right before I was supposed to fight this person, which that's another thing. They got a budget, so there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of cinematics in this game. Um, but yeah, it's just demoralizing. I hope they could it feels like in something they decided to do, you know? But I just it's not something I appreciate. But anyway, that's the couple issues I have with Silksong. It's still a great game. People should buy it. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's $20. It's definitely worth your money. Um, and it's as good as people say it is for the most part. I'm like mostly positive on it, but yeah, I got to play some more. It's not that long. It's like shorter than the first Hollow Knight by 8 or so hours. It's like a 30-hour game. Um, yeah, so that's a little Silksong check in. I will be chipping away at that. It's my handheld game for now, alongside Bravely Default, which we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, I hope you check it out at some point, Noah. But besides that, you're Fire Emblem pilled, right? Like
Yeah.
you're a big sword boy, Mark. We'll put it that way. What's
Yeah.
this mobile game? I literally don't know anything about it besides this. Like, can you explain what it is? Like, how did it release? Any background I could use.
Well, it just kind of shadow dropped. That's kind of in the name too.
Okay.
So, they they wanted to go
Oh
with
yeah, right. Shadow.
fitting for the name. But yeah, it just shadow dropped while I was like in Japan. I'm like, oh, this thing's just out. I'm just gonna play this thing, and it's pretty much Fire Emblem Among Us. Like, um,
Oh, I didn't expect that.
yep, it's a deception game. So yeah, basically it's 3 players, and one player is the imposter or whatever, and it's kind of an auto battler, like an auto chess sort of thing. So you don't actually like move your units; they auto move, and then you just choose like different spells to cast. You just place them wherever you want on the grid. And in the case of like the normal players, you're just trying to clear the room of enemies and keep you and your allies alive. Whereas the imposter is um, trying to sort of sabotage what's going on without revealing themselves or while putting the blame on somebody else, basically.
Oh, okay.
So you have like different, you have a set of spells that are exclusive to the imposter role that don't show up as like your character. doing something, but it's like the imposter's doing something. And so, as long as you're able to like juggle those with like your character's normal moves, then you can like try and do sneaky things like kill another player and then like kill yourself, and then like it's like, oh, it must be the last guy who's still alive, right? And that works sometimes. Yeah, it's all about just presenting it in a way that's believable. Um, so, but yeah, it's there's not a whole lot to the game really. It's
Ah,
a little bit of a cash grab, I think. To be honest. So yeah, you do like the first round. You whether you clear the enemies or not, there's like a voting part. It's like vote who's the imposter. And then if you get it right, then you get 2 revives. If you get it wrong, you only get 1 revive. And if you're already dead, then you'll use a revive immediately. And then there's a battle against the imposter, and they like transform into their shadow form, which is like a basically a furry form.
oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
because like each of like the characters in this are like animal people. They all have like animal ears, and then they
Mm.
like turn like fully into that. It's kind of like the Lagoos, but not really, because they're like still like standing on 2 legs, so they don't like fully transform. That's why I kind of call it like the furry form, because it looks more just like a furry Fire Emblem OC than like a Lagoos.
Sure.
But I'm sure they're
Or
like
personas. Yeah.
adjacently related to Lagoos. But yeah, so it's yeah, it's interesting enough. It feels fairly balanced if everyone has like the same like cure levels and the same like amount of time in it. I've heard like really high ranking like games are really interesting, but the yeah, like the I guess new player experience is like you either like steamroll or you get steamrolled. Like there's really no in between. So
Yeah.
and yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of close games. I've had a couple close games, but there's just not a lot of those happening. Um,
Okay. So this is a multiplayer game, I assume.
yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely, yep.
Gotcha.
3 players. Yeah, you just play with 2
Very
other
cool.
random players, and you just do the social deduction thing while doing like the auto battler sort of spell casting thing. It doesn't feel very Fire Emblem to
Mm.
me. It feels like it was maybe like another property, and then they just slapped the Fire Emblem IP on it. Um,
Ah, the Doki Doki panicked it. Oh, I
yeah,
see.
yeah,
Feels like that. Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I like the character designs all right. And they also have a couple of returning characters so far. They've got Dimitri from Three Houses as like a lion boy, and then they've got like Lynn from Blazing Blade as like a horse girl, one of them Uma
Mm.
Musume's. So for those
No.
fans of that
Pretty
thing,
derby. Yeah.
yeah, fans of that
Yeah.
thing will eat that up. Yeah, and
Slade's going crazy in chat. Yeah.
probably, but yeah, she transforms into like a centaur, and then whenever she's like the imposter, and then Dimitri will transform into like a full on like lion form whenever he's the imposter. I see Dimitri a lot. Either he's like really just like a popular character, or he's a really strong character. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe a mix of both though, because like he does a lot of AOE lightning spells, so it seems
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good.
Gotcha.
Like
Okay.
large AOE, so um
Large. Okay. So is it a good game or are you just enjoying it?
I haven't played it since I got back from Japan. I played it like
Okay.
when I was
So
going
it's,
back,
yeah.
but it's not really like worth my time right now, unless if I had like nothing better to do. Um, But I mean, it's a good distraction to play for like a few rounds. But there's like really not much to it. So uh,
Yeah, the last mobile game I played heavily was that Pokemon trading card.
mhm.
Uh, Pokemon, what do they call that thing? I forget what it's called.
TCG
Anyway,
Pocket. They have like
TCG
they
Pocket.
have like a
Yeah,
lot of
which
sets in that thing now. Like there's a ton of cards in that thing now.
yeah, I've heard that it's basically become a collectible game, like just collecting everything and not fighting as much.
Hmm.
Which interests me because that's kind of what I did. I collected the first 2 or 3 decks, but anyway, not to get too in the weeds. That's the last mobile game I've
Hmm.
really spent time playing. So
Yeah, I like the
yeah, interesting.
character designs. All right. I think that it's got like some really nice looking cutscenes that are very like Fire Emblem esque. And like the
Yeah.
character designs
Hmm.
are pretty Fire Emblem esque. Like I said, other than like the furry shadow forms, like they don't feel all that like they've had like the half human half animal thing, but like usually they like transform fully into the animal form, and so it's weird like seeing it like anthropomorphized, like that in between.
So
um
they get that oh my gosh. Do you remember that book series with the kids turning into the rats or whatever?
oh yeah,
What the hell is
the
that called?
animorphs.
Animorphs. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have animorph look in there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. Love that.
yeah, yeah.
Very animorphy. I like it. I like it. Okay. So yeah, that's something Shadow Drop. In fact, if we didn't say the name, Fire Emblem Shadows. That's kind of what he was
Yeah,
alluding to
Fire Emblem Shadows
by
shadow
Shadow
dropped.
Drop.
So yeah,
Hmm.
it's an
Yeah.
alright thing though. It'll have like a bit of an audience, but I don't think it has a lot of staying power for people. There'd have to be some
Yeah.
pretty big changes for it to have more staying power. Mainly like
Gotcha.
adding more players would help because 3 players is just hard to do the social deduction thing with. Because like really you're
Yeah.
just trying to like trick 2 other players. It's just hard to do basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. You kind of need more people to have a bigger sample size. Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand. Um. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds cool. Interesting. I was never a big Among Us person, really. I mean, I just
yeah.
not my thing.
I liked social
Social deduction
deduction all
games, not my
right,
thing.
but yeah, I don't know about this one. Also, not really in the mood for social
Yeah.
deduction, so.
Yeah. Yeah. The one game I played was Town of Salem with you. That was my social deduction
Mm-hmm.
experience, and it
Mm-hmm.
was fun. It
That thing
was
was
fun.
a lot of fun back
That
in the
was a
day.
good
Yep.
time. Before they put out two and ruined it. The first one was
Hmm.
better. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's basically just werewolf. If you know werewolf,
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's what Among Us is
Werewolf
anyway.
with feature
Or
creep,
or
like werewolf with like way too many roles.
or
Yeah,
mafia with feature creep. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of the
too
idea.
many
But
roles.
man, Town of Salem was awesome. You had a lot of real people playing that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. So the way I think we're gonna do this next is I want to hear about Ratatan, but we'll break it up. I'll kind of hit on a couple games that I started, and then we'll jump into Ratatan, and then we'll have the Trails conversation because I played some Trails, you played some Trails. We'll kind of get there from here. So, couple quick hits of games that I've started too many video games because that's just how this month has gone for me. But I started something called the Midnight Walk. It's spooky season, so it's a horror adjacent game. It's very Tim Burton-y, Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride sort of thing. I think this game was modeled in clay.
Hmm.
I don't know quite how they did it. If this is just something that they like built and then they like built 3D renders of. I'm not sure. It's got this very like claymation-y Nightmare Before Christmas feel and look to it. It's a first person like horror themed game where you're basically just kind of walking uh, from end to end in this creepy world. And there's some stealth, there's some weird things you're doing, but it's very like walking sim. I don't know why. I'm just into weird indie walking sims, I guess. I think there is some combat in this game. I'm not that point yet. But it's mostly just like a visual feast for the eyes. It is also a VR game as well. So it like you can get really close to stuff and get a bunch of detail there. Um, basically the gist of it is like you're in this storybook world where you're basically like hanging out with this like little creature. I forget what it's called. The burned one, I think his name is. He's like this little pot boy. Um, or he may, I think, no, the thing is, I think you're the burned one, and you hang out with this little guy named Pot Boy, and he's got this little flame in his head. And you're just like following him around, solving puzzles, looking at a bunch of weird Halloweeny type stuff. It's a vibes game, man. It's a vibes game. I'm enjoying it so far. It's not the longest thing ever. It's 5 to 6 hours, but yeah, fun from what I've started. It's perfect to kick off the Halloween season. I'm excited to see more. It's very interesting. It's from the people that made Lost in Random, if you've ever heard of that game. It's a kind of a also
Nope.
Tim Burton-y character platformer sort of thing. So anyway, even if you haven't, it's worth checking out. It's super cheap. It's like a $20 game, something like that. If
Yeah.
you're looking for a quick little Halloweeny jaunt, that's something I recommend. So check out the Midnight Walk. Cool little game. Um, Another quick hit before we kind of jump into hearing about some Ratatan, which I had the pleasure of watching you play last night. Um, Hades 2 dropped. They did the Silksong thing, and they basically said, "Hey, we're coming out in 2 weeks. Bada bing, bada boom," and they did so. And it's more Hades. If you like Hades, if you've played Hades, it's more of that, just with a lady. And
They
they're
should have called it
related in
ladies.
some way. I
I don't. They
eh,
dropped the ball on that.
you- you're too good at this. You need to stop being so good at this. That's all have to say. Um, in the first game, if you're not familiar with Hades, which I don't know how you couldn't be because it's one of the most famous indie games to ever hit, it's from Supergiant Games. I Supergiant's a personal favorite of mine. Love their stuff. I played every one of their games. Bastion, Transistor, Pyre might be my favorite game of theirs. And then they came out with Hades. I've actually been watching the another thing I keep pimping out is No Clip. They made a documentary of the making of this game, which is really cool. Um, and yeah, they kind of got into the development of Hades and how they launched in early access and stuff. And so yeah, I in preparation for Hades 2, I've been just kind of watching that. And I'm like, yeah, Hades 1, that was a great game, right? What's Hades 2 like? More Hades 1, it turns out, but better. Um, it's it's a roguelike. It's the same sort of thing. You were trying to defeat an end boss and get story tidbits and abilities along the way, and you loop and loop and loop until you've kind of reached content completion. That's very Hades adjacent. Um, there are some differences in terms of mechanics, but the gist is you basically start a run by hanging out in the hub, talking to folks, doing conversations. It kind of plays out like a visual novel in some ways. The presentation of talking to characters. It's in a Greek setting, like a Greek mythology setting just like the first one, obviously Hades. And the first one you play as Zagreus, who's the son of Hades, and the second one you play as a relative of Zagreus. I forget who. I think maybe half brother, um, named Melinoe, and she's training under the tutelage of Hecate, the witch from Greek mythology and lore. Um, and you're basically on a path to go save Hades, who's your father, from the grip of Chronos, who is Hades' dad, who's a bad guy. He's the ruler of time. And so the end boss of this game is to go fight Chronos. So I assume it's like Hades 1 where you have to beat the end boss multiple times to get the full amount of story. I don't know yet. I haven't beaten a run yet, but I've almost beaten Hecate, which is the first boss. So um, it's pretty jam packed with abilities and stuff. But the gist for getting a run going is you basically show up, you start going through these like level layouts that are proc jenny, very like hey, there's a new layout every time you enter and exit a room. You kill all the enemies in the room, you'll get a boon, which will give you like a buff to your abilities, which is like, hey, I talked to Ares and or whatever, the god of war or Zeus, and he gave me some lightning powers I can use to either use for my attack, my magic spell, or my cast, whatever, or my like movement, whatever. You get these boons to help your character. Rinse repeat. You get a bunch of them. They increase in rarity. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. You played a roguelike before. There's rarities and stuff. Um, you get a run going, you feel pretty good, but then ultimately you're probably going to die, be sent back, and and try it all again. And then, but when you do that, you have the incentive of talking to a bunch of people and having conversations evolve as you kind of end your runs and stuff. It's really cool. It's the best roguelike I've played, and I'm not a roguelike person really. I've started to like them a lot more with like a Balatro and stuff like that. Dead Cells, Rogue Prince of Persia, which I mentioned a couple pods ago. Um, I'm starting to get into the rhythm of it, but Hades 1 and 2 is the best crystallization of that for me. I think it's the best product, I guess, for that sort of game design. So, um, I've only played about 3 or 4 hours of Hades 2. The presentation is so slick, so immaculate. It's amazing art by Gen Z. Um, I just the music, the art, the presentation, it's a masterclass in art direction, design, and story. I think it's fantastic. It's one of the best indie games you can play right now. Like the fact that it's like Indie Apocalypse with Silksong and Hades 2 is frankly astounding. It's with those two games alone, that could be your year. Um, it's awesome. Hades 2 is awesome. I'm so glad that I have so much to play. I feel like I'm drowning. But yeah, little check in with that. I played that on my Switch. I'm kind of ping ponging between three Switch games. It's that, it's Silksong, and then Bravely Default, which I'll get into at some point. But yeah, that's kind of my Hades 2 start. I like it a lot so far. It's very, 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 very good. Um, and yeah, something else I really liked visually was watching you play Ratatan. Man, I'll let you get into it, but I don't think besides Hades 2 and maybe Silksong, that might be my favorite looking video game of the year. Oh, okay, Sword of the Sea as well. I thought that game was slick as fuck. Um, but Ratatan has this really, really nice 2D, 3D aesthetic. It's very Guilty Gear. Um, from like the way it's like a Dragon Ball Fighters. That's actually a better analog where it's 3D. It is 3D, but the way it moves looks 2D.
Yeah.
Um, it's fascinating stuff. So Ratatan, kind of talk to the people about it, what you like, what you don't like, and yeah, I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a spiritual successor to those Patapon games. I've been, I've been saying this thing's probably going to be a game that I really like since, it's been announced forever. It's been um, in development forever. And yeah, this thing, it was kind of my Silk Song. And so this thing's
Yeah,
kind of out now. And yeah, it's really good. Um, it's a rhythm RTS roguelike. And that's a
yeah,
lot of genres that require a lot of different things, a lot of different focus. And yes, you do all three of those things at the same time. And it's a lot to manage.
yeah. It is a lot to manage. Just watching you, I'm like, oh, there's a lot happening here.
Yes. But it's a lot of fun. Um, I, yeah, I think it's probably gonna be a big game for me. Just like doing runs of it like for a long time. Just taking it piecemeal. Um, because that's the nature of it. Is like, yeah, you have some time blocked out. You just do like a run or two. And I like games that are like that. So yeah, it's got a wonderful soundtrack. That's kind of what those things are all about, right? It's like if it's a rhythm game, it doesn't have good soundtrack, then why bother? And the Patapon
Exactly.
games had
Yeah.
a great soundtrack, and this thing has a great soundtrack too. Um,
It sounds so good. I just
yeah,
can't get over how I love the whimsy.
yep,
The whimsy's off the charts here.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot like Patapon was a lot of like muted tones and vector graphics and simple
Hmm.
designs, whereas this one is like I think they've broken away from that vector graphics sort of thing, and so now they're just like free to like do like the whole like poppy pastels and like detailed designs and things like that you can't really do with vector graphics. So The it's a really really brilliant game. The roguelike elements are, it's still early access, so they're still doing some tuning to those. A lot of the like progression needs a bit of tuning, and a lot of the just variety in the roguelike needs a bit of tuning. There's not a lot of variety run to run. But I think with like enough like additions and enough, just like different events and things like that, it could become a really interesting experience to just keep going back to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it. I've been having a ton of fun with it. The Ratatan. I think like a Kyokura or something like that is my main in that. There's like 8 different
a
Ratatans.
lot of vowels in those
Yep.
names. I
Yep.
mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
There's a
there's
pretty
some
big
very wordy
cast
titles
of
for these characters.
characters to choose from. So should be a character that everyone can find and like in that thing. And yeah, it's fun if if you like rhythm, if you like simple RTS, or if you like roguelikes, or if you like all of those things like I do, then check it out. I highly recommend it. It's something that I've looked forward to for a long time, and I haven't been disappointed. It's it's still early access, so there's still some like things that they'll iron out, but I think it's worth checking out right now. So
Yeah, Ratatan. I think that looks. It's some of the slickest presentation I've seen this year for
yeah,
sure.
it's a great looking game.
Yeah, have they said whenever this is going to hit 1.0, or is they just going to keep it in
So
early access till they're done?
I think I want to say that after they're done with their sort of roadmap, that they're gonna put it to 1.0, and the roadmap ends in spring 2026. So they've got some stuff at the end of October planned, just like like fixes to like the overall gameplay, like adding random events, and adding like customization to your units, your Kobun, and then adding like auto optimize UI improvements and things like that. Just like having like additional like upgrades for your Ratatons. That's all coming in October, and then December is gonna have like new scenarios and like a new Ratatan character, and yeah, like new weapons and things like that. And then the spring update's gonna have like an extra zone, and new character and all kinds of like achievements and console compatibility and stuff like that. So that's probably when they'll do that 1.0 release, is when they put it on console.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely check that out whenever it hits. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Ratatan. So the next couple bits here, we've been playing similar things. Very similar things. I figure kind of looping these into two buckets is kind of the way to go. So I don't know how much you played of this, but I think you said you brought your Vita to Japan with you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so you've been playing a little bit of the original Trails in the Sky FC, the very first Trails game, the PSP version, I want to say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, how did you find it? Had you ever played this? What's your exposure to
I
it?
had tried it before on Steam briefly, I think, and then I tried it briefly on PSP while on the plane, and like I was pretty exhausted, and it just, unfortunately, it wasn't clicking with me again. Maybe I just need to play that remake. I usually am the type that likes to play the older version before playing a remake,
Yeah,
but I don't know if I can enjoy that older version or not. I think I might
it's
like it
it's
better
it's
with like voice acting and things like that. So
Yeah. hmm And so yeah, since that's the case for you, I've I've been playing the new one.
hmm
My exposure is I've attempted to play that on the PSP before my Vita unceremoniously killed itself. I don't quite know what happened. The
yeah, I
screen
thought
is
about
just
trying to pick one up for
screwed.
you while I was in Japan because they're pretty cheap in Japan.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but
Yeah, I just need to get another one.
yeah,
I have all the stuff. I just need to move it onto there and
hmm
do the things it takes to make that happen.
yeah,
Um, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I haven't gotten to. But I've played 6 to 7 hours of that first game, and I really like that game. I like that game on PSP. Um, it's very slow. That
That's
original game, like really
yeah,
slow.
that's what I've heard.
Um,
Is that original is like the beginning like third of it or so is like pretty slow.
and thematically that's fine because it's a very cozy game. Right? It's one of
hmm
these cozy RPGs. But I'm talking really about systems. Like the movement speed's very slow in that game. The text speed is extremely slow, and the combat speed is not where it needs to be. So that's what they fixed when they ported it to Steam. They made it run better. They had it faster up. They did the quality of life stuff that you would want. Very Final Fantasy remaster stuff, where they have the speed up if you want it, just so you can played at a modern pace, right? Without altering anything in a major way. And that's kind of what the new one's like. It's not a upres of that game. It is a remake of the first chapter of Trails in the Sky. Um, I just bought this today. I put about 45 minutes to an hour into it just to get the opening little bits here. And like I said, is very cozy. Um, it's not baby's first RPG or anything like that, but it's a good gateway into the Trail series, which if you're not familiar, the Trail series is what is known as the MCU of JRPGs. Like every game connects into different segments of this larger story. Um, and Trails in the Sky is the first like segment of that. There are three games initially. There's first chapter, second chapter, and uh, Sora no Kiseki the third, which never got. I don't think it got It basically they put it on Steam, but I don't think initially it had been translated. But anyway, I'm misremembering, so I don't want to talk too out of turn. Um, at least the PlayStation portable version or Vita version, I had to import. So, but I think they released it on Steam in English. So I think there's some differences with that third one. The third one is more of a coda to the first two games. It's like fan resolution stuff. The first two games are very like part one, part two, and then three is kind of like an addendum to that. So three's not necessary necessarily, but one and two is like if you want to play Trails, those are the ones you play. Um, and just kind of get the main story down. And yeah, from what I've played of it, the combat's really fun. Um, I like the bracer test stuff that you do with Sherazard. Um, the voice acting I really like. I think the girl who plays Estelle. I think she's in Persona 5 as the twin. Uh, what do you call it? The Velvet Room girls. I think she's one of them. Um, she's like the one that says like quiet inmate. I think she plays Estelle. I forget what her name is. And I think she might have done some of the main voice work for Persona 3 characters for Reload. Um, again, I digress, but it's nice to hear some like warm, welcoming voices because I'm like, oh, I've listened to a lot of you. This is gonna be fun. So it looks great. It's a very sharp looking remake. There's some texture stuff here and there. You're like, okay, they put the budget towards the main characters. I see, right? Um, but it's mostly voice acted. All the main stuff is voice acted, besides the kind of interstitial talking in between missions. But it's like let's call it 60-40 talking. Like there's a lot of voice lines in this game. Um, the voice acting is very sharp. It looks really great on console. Anyway, I'm playing on PS5, just a base PS5, and it looks great. Runs well. It's like 11, 12 gigs to download. Not that it matters really, but it kind of the scope of it. It's not long, very long. It's like a 35 to 40 hour game, which for by JRPG standards is very short. So um, it's if you're gonna play any Trails game, this is the place to start. Don't start anywhere else but here. Don't play Cold Steel first. Just this is the one to start with. This they're remaking this so people understand. Hey, this is number one. Like, do it. Play this one. Um, and it sounds like the second chapter got leaked recently too. They were making these in tandem, so don't be surprised if the second one hits pretty soon after. Yeah, initial hour of this game, really like it. It is pretty one to one from the PSP game from what I've seen so far. So I'm liking it a fair bit. I will be hopefully making some time for that to play through that the rest of the year. I think we're going to try to have game of the year similar to last year, where we have January to really catch up. So we might do it in February. So hopefully I can squeeze in all this stuff by that point. So because that's kind of what we did last year. So, but yeah, that's kind of Trails in the Sky first chapter remake. But yeah, yeah. Anything you wanted to say about that PSP version, or did you kind of just not get into it as much?
Yeah, I didn't get into it very much. I played like maybe the opening hour and then was like,
Opening hour, yeah.
yeah.
It's a very I think that remake's the way to go. I really do. Presentation wise, story wise, just everything about it is a major improvement on that one. If you want that old flavor, get the Steam version. Don't play it on PSP. There's no quality of life stuff to make that faster.
Hmm.
Um, so I recommend it. And they had those modes in this remake too. You can speed up um, game speed. Like there's a setting for that, a toggle, which is cool. If you just want to grind or something, which I appreciate because I like it when Bravely Default has this too. Bravely Default HD has this where you can fast forward and speed up your battles if you're grinding, which I actually use to my advantage here. Um, once I stop teasing and talk about it at some point, but yeah, yeah, I like Trails of the Sky a good deal. It's gonna be fun to play through. But yeah, moving on to a game you've beaten. Actually, before me, I think I started this before you, but you actually were able to get it done before me. Is Split Fiction, Spliction? I call it Spliction. I don't know why. I just it's easier to say. Um, but I basically when I want to play with my wife, I go, "Hey, you want to play some Spliction?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll play some Spliction." Um, before you get into it, slightly the issues I have with it is that like if you're playing with an unseasoned gamer, we'll say, like my wife, there is some difficulty spikes in this game,
Yeah.
um, like major, and even for let's call you a pro gamer. You're a pro gamer, Noah.
Oh yeah.
Even for pro gamers, it gets a little difficult in
Mm,
some
yeah.
ways too. So yeah, talk about your experience with finishing that thing up because I think I watched you finish that entire final boss, right?
Yeah. Yep. I'm done with that game. Yeah. It was fine. Yeah, it was more of the of like the good like visuals and the terrible writing. Um, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Writing's pretty weak
it's
in that
got
game.
that millennial writing of, anytime like we'd be doing anything, I just like predict the next thing that would happen or the next thing that they would say, is that sort of thing. Like
Next emotional
we're
beat.
we're
Yeah,
we're fighting
yeah.
a giant robot and I'm like, "Oh, we're having the robot punch itself." The next they're going to say, "Why are you hitting yourself?" And then sure enough, "Why are you hitting yourself?" And then they we are in like a trash area and we fall down a chute and I'm like, oh, so we're gonna do the trash compactor from Star Wars, and then all of a sudden it starts closing in and I'm having to do like a puzzle while my friend's having to like hold back the trash compactor. I'm like, yep, 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 yep. So it's just stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's just a really, really predictable game. And like, yeah, the writing is just like anything that like if you can think of the corniest thing to say at any moment, then the characters will say that. Guaranteed. I guarantee you can
Yeah,
figure out
yeah,
what the characters are going to say next. So,
yeah, yeah.
but it's
Very
a
predictable.
Yeah, but it's a unique idea at the very least, and it's a fun little romp. And
Oh wow.
they try and have like some weird stuff in there, some goofy side areas, and the they've got some like emotional beats in there, but it's just hard to take that thing seriously when they're cracking jokes like left and right. And then finally, like towards like the end of the game, one of the main characters is like, "Oh, I hate puns." It's like, no, I was like screaming at the game. I'm like, no, you don't. You've made a pun every 5 minutes while I've been playing this thing. Like, you don't hate puns. You're not that deep. I'm sorry. You have not written this character to hate puns. Like, writers, no, your character does not hate puns. They would not say stuff like, why are you
Yeah.
hitting yourself if they hated puns? Like,
hmm
uh, it, like
Oh, that's a
the
Noah
the
pet peeve there.
the dissonance like the writers have, like they write like this character that's supposed to be like cool, calm, and collected, and then they just like have him say like the dumbest thing at any given moment. It's like,
hmm
pick one or the other. Pick one or the, like, if you want your millennial writing, that's
Yeah.
fine, but don't have your character try to be Shadow the Hedgehog, because they ain't Shadow the Hedgehog. They ain't going after that damn
Yeah,
fourth Chaos Emerald.
you're talking about Mio, and I think she's a terrible character. Like I just
Yes,
think she's awful. I
absolutely.
I like the other girl is fine. The other girl is fine. I don't have a
Sure.
problem with her. Zoe, that's her name.
Yep.
But Mio is, man, they try to do this redemption arc with her that just sucks. I think it's terrible. Um,
Yeah.
and the writing is just not strong with them. Like so Zoe's pretty good. And I appreciate her calling Mio out at some point. She's like, enough is enough. You're
Yeah.
driving me crazy.
Uh huh.
And that's how I felt too.
Yeah,
I
it's
felt
like
bad because I was
Debbie
being
Downer.
Mio, you
Stop
know.
downing the little Debbies. Like, you're not that deep, girl.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
the world doesn't revolve
It's
around
not that
you.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, she likes to think it does, and
yeah,
she's always like, "Woe is me,
yeah.
my dad's in the hospital or whatever it is," and I'm like,
Grow up.
"Okay, well, you're not a sympathetic character." Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're not a sympathetic character. You could be, but
Like,
yeah,
yeah, like I
but
feel worse, for your situation if you like actually like, tried to like say like, hey, life is sucking for me right now. Sorry, I'm being a bit of a
yeah,
downer, but like
yeah,
she just doesn't confront that until like midway through the game, and by that point you're kind
right.
of just fed up with her already. So, uh,
Like I've played with you for 8 hours, and you've sucked like for 50 to 60% of it. So
yeah,
yeah,
but it's a fine game. I just think that yeah, writing could use some work. Um, but
I mean
I just don't like
that's
that
never
millennial
that team
writing
strong suit. So
period. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm not a fan of that style of
I'm
writing.
with you. It's sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, that's all I had to say.
It's not that it's not that that company's strong suit. Like Hayes Light, they're good at making cooperative games. And the thing that I think is a highlight about that game is that it does so much. Like it is ideas the video game. Like it's constantly doing something interesting with co-op mechanics, settings. The entire idea is split fiction. Like you're going between two different realms, like this futuristic Tron world and like this fantasy Lord of the Rings kind of fairy tale setting, and they're constantly going between that. There's multiple different camera views, very different gameplay sequences. Like it feels like a blender game. Like they put a bunch of stuff in a blender and went like, hey, what's fun? What can we use to kind of give our game some juice, some variety. Like it feels like you're always doing something new, which I like, and no mechanic outstays its welcome for a long time. But like I said, the story is not its strong suit at all, and neither are the characters. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You
decent
you
game.
liked it, right? You played
Yeah,
with your buddy. So
yep, I liked it. All right, it had some interesting mechanic complexity to it. But yeah, it has
yeah,
some weird difficulty spikes, and yeah, it's if you play games, you can get through it pretty easily. But if you don't play games, then
yeah,
there's no really like options to like help people that don't play games from what I'm aware of. So
right, for sure. for sure. That's Split Fiction. I need to finish that game. I'm halfway through it right now,
Hmm.
and I've liked it so far. I think it's a very good game.
Yep.
People like talk about these Hazelight games like they're game of the year material, and
Yeah.
I'm not
Every
there with
single
that.
one of them, they're
It's too
always like
casual.
they're game of the year. It's like no, like they're fine. They look nice and they're mechanically interesting sometimes, but they're
I mean, yeah, yeah. You
the
want to
the
talk like,
the writing makes me want to scream and like
yes,
I
yes.
like the writing might be worse than Fire Emblem, freaking Engage, and that game has some of the worst writing in gaming. So, um,
It's yeah. Somebody's talking to me about tea, and I don't give a shit. Like that's what
yeah,
that game is, and
yeah.
you're just like, why do you have green hair and you're being annoying? Um,
Like I think
it's
that
like a
okay, I do like the character designs in Engage, since I'm on the Engage topic, right? But because I like
yeah.
Mika Picasso did those designs, I quite like her as an artist. So I think those are
Yeah.
fine for like a one off like Fire Emblem thing, like those poppy anime sort of designs for characters. They're fine. The toothpaste protagonist, it's fine, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, my male character was a Pepsi Man when I went through that, and then my female character was a Colgatea when I went through that.
Colgate's, yeah,
So,
I love it.
but
I think I named them blue. I think I named them blue red. I think
yeah,
that's what I named them.
yeah, but
So
yeah,
yeah,
those designs are funny. They're fine. But yeah, it's just the story, and that thing is just like I've beat that thing, and I don't think I'll go back to it ever. But
I don't think you need to. I really don't. I think it's a one playthrough sort of thing, and that's
yeah,
fine.
that's kind of how
Um,
Split Fiction is
if you
as
think
well.
the
It's just like a one playthrough. Like once you're done with that, you're just done with it.
yeah, I think if you have a problem with the writing in Split Fiction, oh, It Takes Two is far worse. Like
Ugh.
far
Yeah,
worse.
I
I
don't think
think the
I
it, the
probably will never play a game by that developer again unless somebody really wants me to.
really okay.
Yeah,
I like them purely because they get cooperative mechanics down right, and I think it's worth. I think it's worth a playthrough with a friend.
maybe,
Um,
but
But yeah, I see why you're hung up on it because I definitely
writing
get
is
it. I am with you
important
there.
to me in games, and they just kind of
Yeah, sure.
butcher the art of writing. So,
You don't even have to have like good writing, just decent's
no,
fine. But
yeah,
like
just
if it's
decent is
actively
fine.
bad, that
Yeah,
yeah,
it detracts from the game if
that's
it's
why I
actively
dislike
bad.
the exactly. That's why I dislike the Borderlands series so much up until this recent one, which I hear is a lot better about this. But the humor in those games, in the writing, they're terrible. They're terrible, and you're doing a lot of listening to these people, and it is not good. I don't care what anybody says about it. I know people that are hardcore and they die for that series. I just do not like the style of humor or writing. And like it's so of a time and place too. It's very like it's very bacon humor. You know, bacon, like that was a big thing back in the day. Like everything was about bacon and
Yeah.
freaking mustaches and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That is what that game is, and like farts and stuff. And I'm like, a 13-year old wrote this.
Yeah, you don't
You know,
base your game's entire writing on current culture. Like that's just a
yeah,
recipe for disaster. Like it's not going to age well
it,
at
it's
all.
it's it was trendy for the time, but even still, like it feels like a time capsule for an era that doesn't exist anymore. You
Yep.
know, and I hate that sort of writing, and I think that's why I don't like that series very much. The gunplay is fine, but it's kind of I don't know. I know it's a shooter, but it kind of feels like off to the side for me because it's very in your face character focused. Like a lot of the time, the gameplay is almost secondary for me because it's just so bold faced about it. It's just like, hey, you want to freaking get wild? We're all crazy. Everyone's got a faux hawk and sucks. Like that's Borderlands to me. Not my thing. It's not my thing. And I think that's you're Haze light off because of that for that bad writing, and I understand. It's something that grates on me too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So Split Fiction, I'll get back to it at some point. I don't like to leave games unfinished. I'm halfway through it. I'll try to play it before game of the year and see how far I get. But yeah. Um yeah, kind of on the downswing of playing some games. We'll kind of be checking in on some oldies here. Um this is you know, I've had a time with this game. Bravely Default Flying Fury HD. I've been
I like
up
that
on
game
this
a
game. I've
lot.
been down on this game. I've been very mixed on this game. I'm starting to come around to it a little bit more. Um, my main issue is just all the menuing and all the grinding you have to do. I think it's very.
I don't.
I think it's a chore to play unless you have unless you know what you're doing. And that
Yeah,
took me a while to
I
get to.
don't think there's that much grinding. If you're like, okay, these are my mage characters and these are my physical characters. That's what I usually do, and then I don't
That's
grind
what I
like,
do. Yeah.
yeah, I don't like grind like the like mage classes on like my physical characters until like the like very end game when like grinding is free at that point. And
Yeah.
so yeah, just save most of your grinding for either if you get stuck or if if you hit that absolute point where you're like this is the end game, I just want to go with like the most optimized thing just to finish this thing up, then yeah, go for it. But yeah, that game, I don't think there's that much like grinding, and there's a lot of like quality of life for like turning up the encounter rates and turning up the XP gains and things like that.
Yeah, which I like. Yeah,
This
I like that stuff.
one in particular, they want you to play those mouse mini games quite a bit, so you do have to engage with some of that stuff to get basic stuff like turning off encounters. And I would say get that early rather than later. Like as soon as you get the opportunity to get the ability to turn off encounters, just go ahead and buy that thing because it just adds a menu option. You'll see it in a special shop with the mouse mini games, and it just adds a
Okay.
menu option in like the encounter rate settings just to 0%. It's gonna save
Okay.
you a lot of headache. I
That's
did
cool.
that like really late in the game, and because I thought like 50% was enough, but just turn those things off when you're not needing to grind. It
Okay, that's
just
good to
saves you
know.
so much
That's
time
good to
because
know.
there's a lot of backtracking in
Yeah.
that game. It's a looping game, so you have to do things over
Yeah.
and over
Yeah.
again. So
And yeah, so my issues with it stem with the design, like you said, the backtracking gets old. I don't
I
like
guess
the
how far are
characters at
you
all,
into
and
it?
maybe that changes. I'm 10 hours in. I'm 10 hours in. I'm deep into chapter 2. I know it's like
Okay,
14 chapters, but I grinded a fair bit because I was
it's
sneaky
about
with
eight
the
chapters.
dragon
So
boss. Oh, 8 chapters. Okay, I thought it was more than that.
no.
Never mind. Okay. Anyway, whatever. I'm at a decent clip with it right now, about 10 hours in. I know it takes about 55 hours to just kind of
Mm-hmm.
play through it.
Yep.
Um, which is what I will do. I'm not going to do all the other stuff. I'm just going to play through it. Um, I was stuck on the chapter 1 boss, the dragon boss, to get the thread for the vestments stuff. So I grinded. I was like level 13 and the dungeon was like 15 to 17. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna level to 20 and we'll go from there. Um, and it was a cakewalk after that once I figured out a build.
Yep.
But yeah, I maybe this changes. I think all the characters are uninteresting to me. Every single one of them. Tiz is relatively interesting. Like I said, I'm open for it to change.
Yeah.
Um,
Things do change in a big
I
way
think
as you go through that game and learn
yeah,
more about those
and
characters.
that's it. Yeah, it's just a time thing. Like once I get into it, it'll be different. I'm sure. Right now, where I'm at, not interesting at
Yeah.
all.
I'd
Hopefully, this
say,
changes.
yeah, probably Tiz
I'll
and
take your word on that.
Agnes
But
are probably the weakest characters in that thing. They have some good growth,
yeah,
but Ring a Bell is probably the most interesting character in that thing. He gets really
sure,
interesting as the
sure.
game goes on. He's very much a growth character.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Edia as well becomes pretty interesting as the game goes
Yeah,
on.
and I would say yeah, those are the two characters I would lean into, and being interested in.
Yeah.
But like you said, like I think Anya is a terrible character. I think she's awful. I do not like her, and like I don't like her voice acting, especially. I think it's shrill and grating. I think her demeanor is so annoying to me. I don't know. Like all these people are trying to help her,
She
and she's
gets
like
better as
inaccessible.
well. So she does have
Yeah,
character growth
yeah.
as well. It's a very much a character growth oriented story,
And
a
see, like
character-oriented
when you say
story.
that,
So
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm willing to
they
stomach it
do end
and
up growing out of
see the
all of their
growth.
like
But
annoying parts. And
yeah,
that's what that thing is, right? It's a JRPG, which is about its characters, and so I think that they get the designs down right away with that game. Like I think all those characters look interesting right out the gate, um,
yeah,
and then those
sure.
personalities just develop as the game progresses. So,
Okay, I'll take your word on that. And
and
like I
all
said, I'll
all
play
the
through.
side characters are
So.
pretty interesting as well. I think like all like the boss characters and things like that are pretty interesting. So,
And the story is very Final Fantasy One. Go
yeah,
restore the crystals.
yeah.
Like very boilerplate.
Sure, just keep
Which is
playing that
fine. Like
thing
honest,
and keep playing that thing, and you won't be saying that by the end. I promise you. That
probably.
thing
I
is a
mean,
lot
honestly,
different
like
than what the whole point is to lull
yeah,
you into like a like
I
this is just a typical Final Fantasy thing, and then they hit you with a truck, and you're like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, wow.
okay. So this is what I'm guessing here. I'm very good at guessing these sorts of games because I've played very similar games to this. It's going to be a Xenoblade Chronicles thing where they rug pull you and say like, "Oh, the thing you've been doing for the crystal restoring thing was actually bad the whole time. Like this whole Shadow of the Colossus interacting with the world was actually bad. You are a bad guy. You've been doing bad things, and Eri has been leading you astray. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going. I haven't read anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where it's going.
Would
If
that
I'm
be
wrong, shoot me.
would that be
But
satisfying to you? Like, would that be kind of what you want to
I
see in this
think it
thing?
would be. I think it'd be like if people aren't looking for it, I could see where people would be like, "Oh, I didn't see that. That caught me off guard. I
Hmm.
thought this was just a boilerplate thing. That's great." But I played enough video games to know, okay, they're going to rug pull me. There's
Hmm.
enough hints at the beginning of this game where I'm like, okay, Aerie is untrustworthy, because like literally when they do the second crystal stuff, the water crystal stuff, like she's trying to goad Anyas into doing something that she doesn't want to do, and I'm like, okay, she's got an ulterior motive, obviously. Like we don't have to get into it. When I beat the game, we'll really talk about
Hmm.
it. But I'd like to have a spoiler cast whenever I get there,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Um,
If you want to beat
but
that
I
thing, I
just
mean, don't play games that you don't like
I
or aren't
will.
interested in. But
No, I like. Okay, so I basically want to say I've gotten into the groove with it because I get what I like about this game. So first of all, story stuff aside, it's predictable to me because I've seen this twist be done
hmm.
once before. Xenoblade Chronicles does this in a masterful way, where they lead up to this crescendo that happens 5 to 6 hours before the end of the game, and the entire game is built up, and it's really really excellent. Um, but it's I've seen it happen before, this sort of thing, and I don't know. I,
Yeah.
if it's not what I think it is, then maybe it's different. I don't know, but I'm open. I have an open mind. Let's say we'll call it an open mind. So I like the I've gotten used to the combat. The menuing isn't as tedious anymore. It'd be nice to have no encounters, like you said, then I could just grind when I want. That's kind of what I would go for then.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
I guess
you can
where
get
is that?
that.
Just yeah, where is that?
I think that's chapter 3.
Okay, that's good to know. So I will have to interact with the mouse games to get that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
see. Chapter. What are you doing in chapter 2? I guess.
I just got to Florum, and I've been trying
Oh,
to
it's
do
in
the
chapter
water
2. It's
crystal.
in chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in Florum right now.
Yep. You
I
should
was
be able
actually
to
doing the
do
sub
the mouse
story
mini
there.
games in Forum. So.
Okay, okay. Is it the carnival guy or
Yeah,
no?
it's a carnival guy.
Oh, okay, okay. So I've seen this character. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
do that then. That's good. I appreciate that. I wouldn't have known that
Yeah.
otherwise.
You
So
you can just
that's
buy the
helpful.
thing.
But
You'll see in his shop like something that says like um
okay,
remove enemy encounters, and like it looks like an accessory, but it's just a button for your UI that
it's a button. Okay,
yeah. And
that's
that
very good
was
to know.
like a weird change that they did for this remake, because like you could do that from the beginning in the original game. You could just turn off encounters,
Oh,
and they put it
oh,
behind the
weird.
mouse mini games because they want you to play those things. So
Interesting. That's weird. I don't think I'll play any more than I have to because watching
They're
you do it
kind
was
of
not.
fun. I kind
I
of
was
like
like,
them. I also really like the soundtrack in that thing, so I like that rhythm game that's in there. Because it lets me
hmm
interact with
hmm
that soundtrack. But
I do like the battle theme. Bum, 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 no, that's kind of
yeah,
good.
all
Um,
the battle theme, the character themes, the like the boss battle theme, is super good. I
mhm.
really like that boss battle theme. Yeah, just all that like music from Revo is just pristine. Like I said, I just bought the soundtrack to that thing because I really like that. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm 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 into it now. It
yeah,
took me a while to like get to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm into this game.
yeah.
I'm going to chip away at it.
It's actually
So
one of the
that's where I'm at.
weakest parts of the sequel, Bravely Second, because I was playing a bit of that during my
Yeah,
flight
let's
to
segue to that.
Japan. Yeah, and
hmm
they don't have Revo for that sequel, so the music is just
Mm,
not nearly as good. Whatever they did for like the new like character themes, like they just no, they're not nearly as hype as the like each one of those character themes like was so hype to hear whenever you did like your special moves in that original game, and then
hmm
like they just I don't know, they're just bland. The new character themes, they don't really have that same like
Right.
hype generation. Um,
I get
and
you. I get you.
and yeah, just like the battle themes and things like that are just it's not really a music game. That sequel, it has decent writing. I quite like the new sort of characters. They basically they have a new main character, you, and then they have and he's supposed to be like a um, sort of paladin type in service of Agnes, who's now like the like leader of like the clergy of the game.
hmm
And
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they share characters. That's cool.
yes,
I like that.
yes, yep. So yeah,
Very cool.
it is a direct sequel to Bravely Default. And yeah, Bravely Second
hmm
and
hmm
Layer. It takes place 2.5 years after the original game, and
Okay.
yeah, basically, Agnes is captured by this evil emperor Kaiser, and so
Mm.
you has to go and try and rescue her, and he meets up with Idea along the way. So
Oh,
Idea is a main core like party member, and then
cool.
you
Cool.
encounter a spacecraft in a like a
Oh.
ghost town in Eternia, and you
hmm
find a girl from the moon named Magnolia.
Oh,
So
cool.
there's like a whole race of people that were like living on the moon, fighting
Oh, wow.
the sort of ball monsters, which you can fight in Bravely
Oh, yeah.
Default. I think I showed you a
Yeah.
fight with one of those ball characters
hmm
before.
hmm
Their theme I absolutely love, and
hmm
absolutely love the designs of those things. So I was really hyped for this thing when it first came out, and I just couldn't I couldn't get into it because it just wasn't as solid of an experience as that first one. A
As
lot
the
of it
first
has
one.
to do with
Yeah.
that soundtrack, honestly. But
That's it. Yeah, that first one is yeah, that soundtrack is really good. I that second one is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the series, right?
mhm,
People don't prefer that one.
yeah,
Um
and it's sad too because the composer on that second one is actually Ryo of Supercell fame, which if you don't
oh,
know
okay.
Supercell,
Interesting.
and
I've
Rio
heard of Supercell,
Rio
yes.
is the one who did
Yeah.
like a lot of like very important Vocaloid songs, like World Is Mine and
Yes.
Melt, and
You have told me
yes,
about Rio for
yes,
sure. Yeah.
yes. And so
Gotcha.
but
Interesting.
unfortunately, just as like a video game soundtrack composer, I'll have to hear more of the soundtrack, but it's just
Yeah.
difficult for me to get into the soundtrack right now. I need to play more of it at some point, but I've basically
Right.
gotten the
Yeah.
party together and then did some like
Okay.
I got through like the like prologue of that thing, and that's basically what I've done in that thing. I've gone a little bit further than that,
Yeah,
but
that's a really cool premise. I like the idea that they came up with
yeah,
for
it's
that game. Like
really
the whole moon
interesting.
idea.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
I'm into that.
like they teased that whole thing inside the original Bravely Default for the 3DS as
Oh,
well. If you like 100% that thing,
really?
there's like a whole like movie that you can watch that shows Magnolia, like beating Magnolia and things like that. So they teased that thing
Oh,
like way
weird.
in advance. It was a
Mm-hmm.
big
Mm-hmm.
like hype thing, and then like 4 or so years later it comes out, and I just couldn't get into it. But
Yeah, I
the
understand.
last party member
And
is
it's not the
Tiz.
only.
You encounter Tiz, who
Oh,
is he's been like in cryostasis for like a year or so, and so you have to like
wild.
you're able to like figure out a way to like wake him up from cryostasis basically, and
Mm,
so
mm.
he's more of a supporting character in this one, and it's kind of all about
Oh, interesting.
you and Magnolia, and then Edea and Tiz are like the supporting characters in this one, and they're the sort
Okay.
of airy character in this one is Agnes. Like she's like the sort of like
Oh,
guide
weird.
character. So yep.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. So, does Bravely Default 2 share any characters from
No,
the
nope.
first
That
and
one's a
second?
completely different story. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, how much have you played that second one at all?
Yes. I
Or
the third one.
okay,
Yes. Yep. It's called
the third
Bravely
one. Yeah,
Default
it's Bravely
2,
Default
but
2, but yeah,
it's the third
yeah,
game in the
that's not confusing at all.
franchise, right? They
Right.
wanted to
Right.
make that one like I don't know, sweep Bravely Second under the rug for some reason. I don't think it's that bad of a game to like sweep it under the rug like that, but
Yeah, that's
I think
weird.
that thing needs
Yeah,
to be put on Switch at some point. it's a really interesting game,
Bravely
but
Second. Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
could see Square doing something like that. They like packaging up old games, right? So
hopefully, but yeah,
yeah.
that third game, Bravely Default 2, it's pretty good. I've played most of that thing. I could never like finish that thing. I like played to like the end of it twice, and I just got bogged down in like side quests and stuff. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I like that thing quite a bit. I like the characters in that thing quite a bit. It's got more of like
Yeah.
a mature cast in that one. So it's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
I like it
But
when games do that. Yeah,
yeah,
I like it when games do that.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that one I would say is, at least from what I've played, is a lot more of like the cookie cutter like traditional JRPG story that Bravely Default 2, whereas Bravely Default and Bravely Second are kind of trying to like Bravely Default tries to present itself that way and then breaks that mold in I think what is a big way. Whereas Bravely Second, just right out the gate, is like, yeah, we're just we got people from the moon coming out, and we got like
Yeah, that's cool.
these
That's
like
cool.
otherworldly like ball creatures that are like pinata looking things, and like yeah, so
Yeah, those things are wild looking.
mhm.
I like the look of those
And
bosses.
those are like
Those
a
are cool.
major like
Um,
enemy in that Bravely Second game. So
Interesting. That's
yeah,
yeah, that goes a little harder than I thought it would.
yeah.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I will be finishing the first one. It's just one of those games I'm chipping away at. So that's kind of where I'm at. But it's a good time. It's a good time. So Bravely Second, are you going to keep kind of chipping away at it, or are you just
I want
starting it,
to,
kind of seeing where you
yeah.
go?
I wanna play more of it for sure. Because I've liked what I've
Yeah, and
played
you're playing on
so
shoot.
far.
You're playing on shoot hardware. You're playing on actual 3DS,
Yep,
right?
yep. Yeah, I own that game. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Same.
bought that
Mhm.
thing back when it released. But I just
Right. Right.
never got through it.
Never did. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing similar to you. I've been on the DS tip a little bit too. Just kind of like getting my DS into shape. I wanted to have my idea is, pardon me. My idea is to have like every game I want to play ready at my fingertips. Like everything is ready to go when I open this thing. I'm not lacking any of these titles. So, but all the DS games I wanted to on there, all the 3DS games I wanted. Uh, I I swapped storage, so it's a lot bigger now, and I made it work, and it's glorious, man. I'm ready to go. And the first game I jumped into was kind of this little gem. I've been staring at this thing for a little bit, going like, man, I got to find some time to put into this thing, and it's called Hotel Dusk. Hotel Dusk, room 215. Have you ever heard of Hotel Dusk or no?
Does it have anything to do with like the Zero Escape stuff or no?
It is it is a narrative adventure game, we'll call it.
I've probably
It's
never
very
heard of it.
similar to it. Okay, so yeah, it does a little bit in the way of like so the Zero Escape series has like a 3D-ish camera where you're like looking around a room. It's like an escape room game. This isn't quite that, but it has this like um the way you play it is really novel. I've never seen another DS game do this. Instead of holding it like open like the clamshell, you hold it sideways like a book. So the top screen is your main character talking, and the right screen, the actual like bottom screen, is used to select prompts and investigate scenes basically. So you play as this like this ex detective or police officer looking for his friend, um and he's kind of like started doing odd jobs on the side after one of his jobs goes wrong, and he's looking for his friend, and he brings him to this hotel called Hotel Dusk, and you're kind of interrogating the denizens of this hotel, the owner, some these kids, like this old lady, anyone that's there that has any information about your friend, or this like a bunch of rooms of this hotel. Basically, room 215 is like room that like grants wishes. Interestingly enough, and the proprietor actually puts you in it. Um, to kind of start. I haven't gotten to the point where I've actually entered the room, but it's like a visual novel. We'll call it that. It's like a visual novel mystery game, and it looks fantastic. It's one of the best looking PS games I've seen. It's like got this like very hand drawn art style, very sketch like, very painterly. Um, it's from the people that made Another Code. You've heard of those games, right?
Um,
Yeah,
maybe.
Another Code, like Recollection or whatever. They were DS games, and they remade, I think, the first one for Switch, and it came out a couple years
Is that the
ago.
one with like the
Um,
white-haired girl?
yes,
Okay, that's
yes,
like a
totally.
Nintendo
It is from
owned series because they put her in like
yeah.
Smash Bros as like a trophy and like sticker and
Oh, interesting,
spirit and stuff. Yeah,
interesting.
Nintendo owns that IP from what I understand.
Yeah,
I want
and
to play that at some point because that's
it's
like
for
a sort of a half visual novel, half puzzler type thing from what I understand. So
that's exactly what this is. It's from the company Sing, Cing. They're I don't think they make any games anymore, but they do those like yeah visual novel puzzlers,
hmm.
and that's exactly what this is, with a very interesting presentation where you're literally holding a DS like a clamshell, open like a book. It's really cool. Um, really digging it so far. It's another game I'm chipping away at. It's not very long. It's like 13 or 14 hours, which is pretty short for a visual novel sort of game. Um, and yeah, I think it just looks awesome. It's one of my favorite looking DS games for sure. You should just take a look at it. It's a great looking game. Hotel Dusk. I recommend that if you're gonna reach into the retro backlog. That's a good pool right there. They had a sequel to it called Last Window that I think came to the EU but not to America, which kind of sucks.
Hmm.
But it's in English, so that's a good way to play
Right.
that game is to find a way to play that. So I also have Last Window as a sequel to it if I want it. So yeah, I just kind of like been picking away at DS stuff really. Um, kind of more in the treasure trove, right? You've been playing some Project Diva 1. That's the PSP one, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, what's going on with that?
Yeah. I got about halfway through the charts on that thing. I was having like some issues with like
Okay.
my PSP crashing and things like that, so I had to like switch to like some other games on it. But yeah,
Gotcha.
it's fun. It's very laggy. I don't know if it's because of the Vita emulation or if that thing's just always laggy. I can't remember. I haven't played it on.
Yeah.
I have my old PSP, so I could just boot that up because I have that on my OG PSP as well. But
Yeah. And you can't have lag for a rhythm game. I mean, that's a killer right there.
yeah, it's pretty rough. Like I'm just playing on like normal mode, and like normal mode in that game, luckily, is
Sure.
like pretty easy because it's basically just a 2 button um, rhythm game on normal mode.
Gotcha.
Because it's kind of like the first one of those things, so like they don't know how difficult to make the thing. But
Right.
it's very it's it's the one that like I would say is like the most like combo based. Like if you aren't like building up a large combo, especially in like chance time, then you're just not gonna clear the chart. Like you have to have a certain score threshold,
Yeah.
it seems, in order to clear those charts. And like the only way
Oh,
to
like a minimum
Mhm.
required
Yeah.
threshold.
And the
Interesting.
only way to like really build that is by like doing those chance times pretty perfectly. If you don't do that,
Gotcha.
then and those show up at the end of the chart, and so like you like do the whole chart well, and then if you just screw up in that chance time, then you're kind of just like washed. Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
with like yeah with like the occasional like lag spikes, like it can be pretty frustrating. Like no, I hit that, but lag said I didn't. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
just like do inputs sometimes, and I just feel like my inputs aren't even like being taken, and I'm like
Mm.
that's yeah
Oh, that feels bad.
feels
That feels
bad
bad
for
for a
like
rhythm
a
game. Yeah.
yeah for a rhythm game that should be pretty simple for someone who does like stream charts on like the latest Project Diva, like just
Right.
getting
Right.
killed by the lag. But I've liked
Mm-hmm.
like the old like movies like in the background of the rhythm gameplay because it's like that PSP graphics. It's quite charming.
Right.
So the yeah
Mm-hmm.
I've been liking it all right. But
Okay.
yeah, I just I'll get back to because I want to just beat all those things because I've completed F and F second and X on Vita, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've of course completed like most of the stuff in like Mega Mix on the Switch, and then currently trying to get all
Yeah.
the achievements on Mega Mix on Steam, and
Wow. It's a lot.
but the yeah and then I've got Future Tone on PS4 that I need to get through at some point as well.
Man, there's a lot of
But
Project Diva games. My goodness.
mhm. Yeah, it's a long running franchise, but it's been running since the PSP. I actually got into it with
Sure.
the 3DS entry, Project Mirai, um,
Mm.
and then I went back and played like the PSP and PS Vita games. So
Okay.
so
Gotcha.
yeah, I played
Gotcha.
like Mirai, and then I went back and played the first one and the second one, then Extend, and then I went out and bought a Vita just so I could play Project Diva X.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah. Based.
that
I
was
mean, getting a Vita is just a good choice, but yeah.
right. But I specifically wanted to play Project Diva X. There was one specific song I wanted to play on it slow motion. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and buy one of these things. I was like in high school. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy one of these
Wow,
things.
that's amazing. I love that. I
And
love that. My Vita purchase was for Persona 4 Golden because it was nowhere
yeah,
else.
I mean,
So
I got that thing too, right? Like that's what you do when you get a
yeah,
Vita.
that's
But
what you do. It's a Persona
um,
4 machine for
yeah,
me. But yeah,
um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a great machine just for like emulation and stuff. Because I was playing a ton of other stuff on it. Like I've actually 100%ed Jack and Daxter on that thing before.
Yes, same here. Same
Um,
here.
and I don't remember if
That
I
Vita
did two
version
and
is
three
not
on
very
that
good
thing,
though.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean I've got it modded to where I've got like the CPU cranked up all the way, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
What was it?
the old Lolliconics mod. So
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that so I can do that too because I love Jack and Daxter 1 and I've
Mhm.
platinumed it pretty much everywhere I can except for that
Yeah.
Vita version
Yeah,
because
I
I
platinumed
was
it
just playing the
on
vanilla.
Vita. I've probably
So,
platinumed it on PS4 as well, so that first
oh,
one's
that game
great.
is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
The
so
other
good.
two are
I'm not a fan of
fine.
2 or 3,
I
but
like them
yeah.
okay. I liked 2 quite a bit, and then 3 is like it's a vehicle game. I'm not really into that, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
I
first one's really good.
I love that first one. It's just a classic platformer.
Hmm.
I think all the way through, I think Sly Cooper's a stronger franchise, like way stronger.
Hmm.
Sly Cooper 1 especially is incredible, but Jack and Daxter is a better game than all of them. The
Hmm.
first one,
Yeah.
and it's just I wish they would just I wish they would have just stuck to that sort of thing. That
They're
first game
trying
was
to compete
timeless to me.
with GTA, so
I mean, for 2 and 3, yeah, it's very GTA
yep.
like, which is a bummer, but
I mean, I feel like it
it's
works all right. It's interesting.
it's interesting. Yeah, you can't say it's not interesting.
Yeah.
So
It would have been hard to just
yeah,
do this first game again, to be fair. Like, I don't know if they could
that's
have
true.
done the first
Yeah,
game again and, like, had it feel as, like, yeah, because it does have, like, that great progression of, like, yeah, you're just doing chores around town for people, and then it
right.
progresses to, like, exploring these, like, otherworldly areas and ancient
These
ruins,
islands.
and
Yeah,
yeah, so
I
it's got a
just
good
yeah that was
progression.
one of those games on. Yeah, exactly. That was one of those games on PS2. I just wore my copy out. Like I just
Yeah,
played it so much. At some
yeah,
point, it wouldn't play anymore. I just had played it so much.
yeah.
Incredible game. The thing about the PS2 as well is you could play it with the disc cover closed up to a certain point. You could open the disc cover and it would still play,
Oh, it's one of
which is kind of
those.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of those. Sly
yeah.
Cooper ones like that too.
Animal Crossing was like that on the GameCube.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I don't think you would play the whole game that way. Like you'd still have to. It'd be like at some point, like you got to close the cover.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun party trick to do. Go like, hey, look, it's still playing. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's haunted. Um, yeah, I love Jack and Daxter one. I need to play it on Vita. That Vita collection is not optimized very well. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, I should do that
If you
overclock.
just overclock it, then it works just fine. It doesn't
Yeah, I might do that.
break a Vita or anything like that. I've had my Vita forever and it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
it, but it just
Okay.
drains more battery
Gotcha.
is all.
Gotcha.
But
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was excited that you brought that up. I was like excited to talk about Jack and
yeah,
Daxter one
yeah.
too.
No, I've played that thing a lot on Vita. I played it while I was on the plane just because I was bored and was like, yeah, I'll just play the
It's a
opening.
perfect game.
Yeah, I'll play the opening
Yeah.
segment of this thing, and I did that. I
Mhm.
got like all the way up to like the jungle area. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good for now.
The least favorite, my least favorite part of that game when you're trying to do everything is the what are they? The rats. You have to shoot the rats. That part sucks.
Oh
But
yeah.
um, like Sly Cooper has something like that as well, where you're trying to get all the stuff right. It's a
Mm-hmm.
collectible platformer sort of thing, and there's like a really bad submarine level that sucks out loud. You're just like, man, this whole game is great except for this part. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. PS2 is it's the best console ever made, in my opinion.
that's a good one.
Switch is up there too. The Switch is up there as well.
I like the
Um,
PS1,
for me,
but
it goes PS1's good. I think for amount of games that are playable, I think the PS2 is like tops, even for its age. Almost every game on a PS2 you can play, and it still feels pretty good. On a PS1, there is some games that you're like, this feels a little dated, like a little bit. And also the PS2 aesthetics have aged really well, I think. It feels like the first like tiptoe into like kind of modern aesthetics and design. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I think that the
Um, and
PS1
it, like
graphics are like they're their own like subgenre of graphics at this point, whereas like PS2 is just
they are,
like that whole like era like PS2, GameCube, Xbox is like these are like trying to be photorealistic a lot and like just not hitting that, and so they don't like age quite as well as like something that has like its own like distinct
yeah,
style like a PlayStation or an
right.
N64 for me. But
Right. I feel you. I feel you there. Yeah, it's like there's like a PS2 style, but it's more like a scope thing for me. Like they're not they know what games they're trying to be and they don't try to like extend themselves because they kind
Yeah,
of have like a very limited design um kind of like scope. Like for instance, like Metal Gear Solid 3 is a very compact video game, but there's a lot in there, because they have very limited space to work with. It feels like a PS2 game. Like even if you were to play the remake, you go back and like, wow, this feels like a PS2 upres or a remake. Like it feels like one of those compact PS2 games. Like, hey, this game is everything's here. It's very tight and form factory. Um, it's not sprawling like the PS3 and Xbox 360 became, where everything was like this game is long as hell. You know what I mean? Like everything about the PS2 is very like truncated in a very tight way. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, yeah. Jack and Daxter 1. I love that game. It's an awesome game. Um, this one, this one was a head scratcher for me. Policenauts. What brought this up?
it was just on my PSP, and I was like, oh, guess I'll
PSP.
just play
Okay.
this thing. Yep, got like translation of it
Yeah.
on there.
Okay. So this was mostly a Saturn game, though. Like most people play it on Saturn. I want to say, right?
Really? I mean, it's a
That's what
PlayStation
I've
game.
heard.
You
That's what
you
I've
can
heard.
play it just fine on
It's
the
a
PlayStation.
it's a PlayStation game. It is one of the more notable Saturn games, as far as
Yeah,
I understand. Um, but it's a Kojima game. That's really the notable thing about it.
yeah.
There's a lot of Police Knots love in Metal Gear Solid 1 specifically.
Hmm.
I think there's like a Police Knots poster in Emmerich's office, I'm pretty sure, after you
Yeah.
fight Gray Fox,
Yeah, I
which is
was
fun.
I
But
just played like
yeah,
the
yeah.
opening like hour or so of it. I'm like, yeah, this thing is all right. Yeah, point and
It's
click
point and
adventure.
click, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um
Okay. Yeah, what's the hook of this thing? I don't know anything about Police Knots.
yeah, you're playing as like a oh, what do they call? I guess like a gumshoe. And he's like
Gumshoe, sure. Hard
yeah.
boiled, yeah.
Yeah, he's hard boiled and he's like a detective type, and he was like a police not like a police astronaut, and then he got like caught up, like he got sucked out into space basically and got cryostasis for like 25 or so years, and then they like bring him back and it's like the future, and like he's still young,
Oh,
but everyone else is like grown up around him basically, including his like wife,
okay.
and his like wife like
Oh wow.
remarries and like all that good stuff, and so he's like a detective back on Earth, and he's like, yeah, nobody wants to give me jobs. I just want to clean up crime, but nobody's giving me jobs, and he's
Mm,
like,
okay.
he's like, yeah, I don't like the new smokeless cigarettes that they got, so I just use Marlboros, and
Mhm.
he's like, yeah, I'm hard boiled, I'm tough, a tough guy, you know,
I'm wearing a
and
trench coat and
yes,
talking under my breath.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that sort of thing, and
He's
um,
very Chow Yun Fat and hard boiled.
he's yeah, he's living in New Los Angeles or Neo Los Angeles or something like that, and
It's got to be Neo, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting premise of like the whole you know sent to the future pretty much thing. And he's like, I'm never going to space again. I'm terrified of space. You probably
Okay.
end up going to space at some point. I don't know, but
Probably. Got to conquer those fears. It makes for good
yeah,
drama. Yeah.
yeah. But then like
Okay. Yeah.
his like estranged wife walks in. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to come here, but my husband has been taken. I need you to rescue him," or something like that.
Mm, mm,
So
gotcha. Yeah.
that's all I
I
played up
don't know
to.
much about that game. Okay. Yeah. I don't know much about the game, but I know Kojima made it, which is fun. It was one of his before Metal Gear games. Well,
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid games. I think Metal Gear was
it ran
around
fine on the
before that.
Vita though. That PlayStation version seems
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Had all the
Nice.
art assets in there and had all the voice acting. It seemed so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems it has some pretty nice anime cutscenes. I thought. Is that the truth or no?
I don't think I played
I
enough of it
saw
to
some good
encounter
like.
those.
Okay, I saw some good cinematics. I was like, oh, that Policenauts looks sick. But,
Yeah, it's
uh,
got some good art
okay.
at the very least, like art stills. It's got a lot of art
Mhm.
stills from what I saw, but not really art
Okay.
stills. I guess it's
Yeah.
like more like sprite work, but
Sprite work, yeah, sure. You just like kind of what do you call those things? Like not paintings, but there's a word for it. Anyway, murals. It's like a mural. Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Yeah, like a big. So yeah, police knots. Interesting. I was curious. You piqued my interest by
Yeah, I
talking
just
about
clicked
that.
on it, played it for
Yeah.
an hour. I'm like, yeah, this thing's fine. I don't feel like playing more of this thing. I'd rather just go back to Project Diva. So that's kind of what I did.
That's just you with any game though. Let's be real.
Yeah,
It's like Project Diva. We should just play that.
I'll just play that.
Forget
Yeah,
all these new video
yeah.
games. Yeah, that's that's the truth. That's the truth. But yeah, a couple little quick hits before I get into the real thing I've been actually playing, like the thing that has been taking up most of my time in between us recording. While you're on your trip. This is like all I played while you were on your trip. Um, I played some DLCs. Like I said, I finished that Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC last time I recorded. That was excellent. I really liked that. Really prepped me for Yote in a big way. So I'm excited to play some Yote now that I finished that. But I've been playing some other DLCs. I ran through the Kirby stuff. I'm with you on that game 100%. I think it is too expensive for what's there. It's a lot of remixed content. But there's some good stuff about it. Like I like the boss. The end boss specifically is pretty good.
Okay,
Um, and it's fun to play more of that game. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just
but
like
that DLC boss is just like more of the same too. Like it's just like a rehash of like.
I know. I'm just saying I liked it. I enjoyed
Did
playing more of
you
that game.
okay?
And
So my question is, right? Did you do all the arena stuff before fighting that? Did you do all the like the Dream Fargo stuff before doing that DLC and the arena stuff
no,
before doing that DLC?
so I got about halfway through the arena. I didn't know there was anything at the end, so I was just kind of like playing whatever. The
Hmm.
one thing I was trying to like complete that hub because there's those tilt games you can play too. That was a pain in the ass. Um,
Yeah,
and I was just like, okay, there's that tilt thing. There's a couple other things. Oh,
yeah,
there's
I did that.
these
Yeah,
galaxy quadrants to go fight to go see Leo.
yeah. So you didn't
You
do
know,
all that
stuff like that.
Leo stuff then?
I did about half of it
Okay.
for that and the arena. So I'm very familiar with what it is, but I hadn't finished it all.
So the Leo stuff
So
is again just more you get to play that initial area for a third time essentially because you do it once and then you do it for the DLC and then you do it for
yep.
the dream area and at that point I'm like okay I've seen this enough like it's getting a little bit old. Um,
There's a lot of rehashing
yeah,
in Kirby at some point if you
but
want to do everything.
um, I will say like the end of that dream area is definitely worth it.
Okay.
Because that unlocks like the end stuff of the arena, and if you've already done that DLC boss, um, well, I guess no, I think you'll still have to go through the hard mode on the arena, and then you get like the extra hard mode for completing that DLC
Mm,
after that, and that
gotcha. Gotcha.
that that final boss for like the arena is way better than the DLC boss in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like way more
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
I think this is what you mentioned
yeah,
when we talked about
yeah.
you being the DLC is that you
Because
like that boss
I
better.
had already done that arena boss, and so when I got to the
Right.
DLC, I was like, oh, this is like a weaker version of that arena boss. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And I definitely could see that, like how it would be a weaker version. I could see like I'm like, okay, this feels like another remix on top of what you've already done in the base game. And if that galaxy portion is even more of that, it would not surprise me. And that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, basically. So
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah,
exactly what I'm saying.
and it gets old. I'm with you. It 100% gets old. It really does. Um, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's too pricey for
Yeah.
what they have in there. It's
I
too
think Kirby
remixy.
is in general just like a franchise where it's like, yeah, we like to reuse a lot of content and
Yes, 100%.
we like to present like simple content and we like to have like these like big existential bosses but then just like reuse them over and over again and just putting like a
Yep.
small spin on them. And that's just kind of what that
Mhm,
franchise
mhm.
is, and I'm just not behind it. I just
Definitely.
don't think I like the Kirby franchise. I just don't think that franchise has been
Really.
good since like
I,
Superstar was like the last really good one, I think.
I think those games are good. They're not like works of art or masterpieces or anything. I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land is one of the better Kirby games as well. It doesn't beat Superstar for me, but it's a good game. I do like it a
Mm.
fair bit. Um, yeah, I don't think Kirby's a bad franchise. I just think it's a very simple one. It's consistent. I think it's a consistent franchise for Nintendo. They're just like if you buy a Kirby game, chances are you know exactly what it's going to have. You're going to have fun copy abilities, a very simple stock standard platformer, and existential bosses at the end. That's kind of a Kirby game, right? I mean,
Yep.
if I'm off base, tell me, but I'm
Nope.
pretty sure
That's
that's kind
that's
of
what
a good
those things are.
encapsulation.
Yep.
They really are. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great game. I think that game is very good,
Yeah,
and it
it's an
doesn't
alright game.
outstay its welcome until you start eating all this side stuff like in Odyssey,
Mm-hmm.
or like in Donkey Kong Bonanza, I should say. Then it starts to get
Mm-hmm.
repetitive.
Yeah, doing
Which
all like
I
the
think we're both on the same
missions
page.
and 100%ing that thing
Yep.
was a pretty
Hmm.
tiring thing, but I 100%ed that thing and I did all like the DLC stuff.
Yeah, you were on a kick there doing a lot of that. So I
Yeah, I
I
was
can
on
see why you
my
feel that
I
way.
was on my 3D collectathon kick, and I was like, well, I'll just do this thing since that's what this thing is. It just came out. I'll just go ahead and do
Yep.
this thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, anyway, just I cleaned that up. I don't know if I'll 100% it or not. That's a cleanup month sort of thing. I don't have time for it right now. But I ran through it. It was a good time. The next DLC I'm going to just touch on. It's from Indiana Jones. It's the Order of Giants DLC. That's a good piece of DLC to a very good game. And pardon me. It feels like a side story in that game. It kind of slots in really nicely, which I appreciate. But it's also just more of that game. Like if you're into it, great. That Indiana Jones game is genuinely really really good. I feel like it passed a lot of people by because it came out December last year, and by that point, people are they've made their holiday purchases, um, and it kind of just passed a lot of people by. So, and it's an Xbox Game Studios game, and you know how Xbox is going these days. Like, I don't know how many more of these things we get genuinely, but for what's there, it's really good. It's Machine Games who did Wolfenstein, and I recommend playing that game. The DLC is more to an already great game. Um, the hook of that game is the Nephilim from the Bible, like the mythological half man, half angel uh, creatures. Basically, it's all about that. This DLC is more of that concept, which is fun.
Cool.
The one thing I would say that I wanted more of, and this is an Indiana Jones thing. So Indiana Jones is pulp. Pulp is basically leaning into the fantastical without going full all the way in.
Hmm.
And that's how I feel about this DLC. Like Indiana Jones gestures at the supernatural and shows some of the supernatural. Like 1, 2, and 3 of Indiana Jones has a lot of supernatural stuff in it, but it doesn't go full fantasy in all of it. The difference between that and like a Crystal Skull is it goes completely sci-fi where you're literally seeing aliens.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a little bit, the schlock of that. I wish the games did more of the fantastical because you're playing such a fantastical
Yeah.
game essentially. Like, I mean, okay, statute of limitations is up for this thing. Just so you know, I'm going to just tell you spoilers for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I don't think you're going to play it at this point. Probably not. Um, If you do, great. If
Whatever.
you're okay with spoiler warning,
Sure.
I'm going to tell you that game is about it's about Noah from the Bible, and I'll
Hmm.
leave it at that. And the Great Circle involves how Noah got around
Hmm.
the world to get all the animals, like genuinely. And that's what the story's about. Not to spoil anything
Hmm.
because I think it is worth seeing. Um, and I wanted them to lean more in that direction and go like, "Hey, this is really weird, right? Let's get super weird with it." And it doesn't quite get there for me. And that's how this DLC feels. It's like on the cusp of something really awesome and fantastical. But it feels like it pulls itself back a little bit.
More
Um,
so than the movies, or
the,
less than the movies?
it's about the same as the movies. It doesn't go full Crystal Skull. It stays very Temple of
The
Doom,
movies are
where it
so
just like
funny to me because like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like Indiana Jones sees like the Ark of the Covenant like kill all these people.
yeah,
And then he's like in
yeah,
like the next two movies, like, oh no, I'm not really like a religious guy. It's like, dude, what? Like, you saw the Ark of the Covenant
this
do
is
all that
evidence.
stuff. Like,
It's
what more
it's
do you
evidence.
want,
Like, how
dude?
could you not believe
He's such
this?
a
Yeah,
funny
and that
written character. He's he's got to be like that hard boiled, like the like
yeah,
I'm a tough guy, I don't ever, I'm a skeptic, I'm a man of science,
yeah,
it's like
yeah. Honestly, that's a good encapsulation for who he is as a character. He
yeah,
is a skeptic.
yeah.
He is
But it's like
he basically
if you're like a man of
yeah,
science, like you saw something that was like repeatable, not explainable, but explainable in the fact that like, you understand clearly what caused those people to melt.
oh yeah,
It's like
oh yeah. The Angel of Death, like the
yeah,
yeah,
that just
totally. Like
happened,
it
dude.
is.
Like, I don't know what to
It
tell
just
you.
happened.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I'm a
That's
bit
so
of a
funny.
skeptic about it. Like, yeah, it happened. Who knows what it could have been. Solar flares. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know what he says, but
solar flares. He basically like hand waves it away because he's trying to deny it almost. And you're like,
yeah.
how could you deny something
Then
like that?
he's
That's
like,
so
okay, let's
fantastical,
go. And then he's like, okay, Dad, let's go get your Holy Grail now, because his dad wants like that Holy
Yeah.
Grail. He's like, okay, Dad,
Oh, I
you old
saw
fogey, we'll go get this fake Holy Grail that's not real. And then he's like, oh,
yeah.
this Holy Grail's real? What? Yeah, like
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
universe of Indiana Jones, like God undeniably exists in that like universe. Like that's just
Yeah,
pretty much a
undeniably.
proven fact. Like the artifacts, like I don't know how you would like deny that. Like with
Yeah,
between like the dang Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail stuff, like yeah, it's funny. It's so funny.
and straight up like yeah, it's the Bible is so real in Indiana Jones. It is he's confronted with it constantly.
Yeah,
It is jaw dropping how much of a skeptic he is,
yeah.
even still. You know what I mean?
Well, and
It's like a
it's not
fact
even
of
just like the
life for
Bible.
him
Like the
almost.
occult is also like in Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
the like taking
Yeah.
like the heart out while it's like beating and like he's still like alive. Like yeah, that stuff's wild, dude. Yeah.
It's really the existence of the Judeo-Christian mythos for me. Like that entire idea is like the core basis for all the shenanigans that happens, with the
Yeah.
exception of Crystal Skull, which is
And Temple
completely
of
sci-fi,
Doom.
like I said.
Temple of Doom is kind of outside like the Judeo-Christian
But
sphere.
it is, but it's almost a Satanist thing. Like it
Yeah,
really is,
sure.
like
Yeah.
Kali.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's that sort of idea. It's that sort of like
It's
cultish
the
behavior,
yeah,
right?
yep, the cult behavior, yep.
Yeah, it's so yeah, but it's funny that you said that. Like, yeah, he's 100% a skeptic when he has no right to be. Almost, you're like,
Yeah.
dude, this
He's
is
such a
so
funny written
barefaced. Like, how
character. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
he's always trying to he's always trying to have facts, but whenever
Yeah.
the facts are presented to him, he's like, no, couldn't
No,
be.
that didn't
It's really
happen.
funny.
It just didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
It must have been something
he's like,
else.
I had something in my eye. I don't know what I saw.
I have no
Yeah,
idea what
it's
happens in
funny.
that new movie, but I'm sure it's some wild, like, religious BS, and then he just denies it again.
Yeah, I haven't seen that new one, the Dial of
Yeah,
Destiny.
yeah,
I hear it's okay. I
yeah.
kind of do want to watch
That's
it,
what
but
I've
I
heard.
haven't gotten to it.
Yeah,
So I hear it's okay. I
yeah.
don't hear it's bad.
Crystal
So
Skull
some
was
people, it's the
wild.
worst thing I've ever saw. But
I didn't really like Crystal
yeah,
Skull that much, but
it's not bad. Like, okay, when you compare it to the movies that have come out today, it's like high art. Like, it's way better made than like any movie coming
you
out
know
these
what?
days.
It's better
Um,
than the like sequel trilogy for Star Wars. I'll give it that.
oh yeah, oh 100%. And Spielberg made Crystal Skull as
Yeah,
well. Like, it's a Spielberg movie, so
yeah,
it has some degree of care
yeah.
and effort put into it.
I
You
kind
know,
of just am
it
like an
feels like it's
op
in
for
its
Shia
yeah.
LaBeouf, so.
I mean, yeah, that's a weird one because Shia LaBeouf like almost feels like he's in a different movie sometimes in that movie.
Yeah,
Um, he feels like he's in Greece. Is what he feels like because he's like
sure.
literally a greaser. He's wearing like a biker jacket and everything, and he's just like I don't know. He's trying. They make him to be Indy Sun in that. Spoilers. I don't know if anybody cares, but and they never bring him back ever for any of the other stuff, which is funny because Shia LaBeouf had an issue. He had a couple issues. Um, but yeah, it's just really funny his characterization in that one. But
Yeah.
anyway, we have digressed enough with Indiana Jones. Anyway, it's the DLC is
I
good.
like
I
Indiana
recommend
Jones
it.
quite a bit. I mean,
I like
I
Indiana
like
Jones
him
a
as a
lot, and it
character,
yeah
even though he's like a pretty
yeah.
terribly written character. Like, I still like it quite a bit.
Debatable.
Yeah,
Debatable. I wouldn't say he's terribly written. I just think there's a lot of logic gaps to
yeah,
maybe his
yeah. That's fair. That's
characterization.
fair.
We'll put it that way. I
Yeah,
would say it's that. But anyway, we gotta move on. So I'll continue. I think that speaking of the characterization, before we move on, the voice performance for Indiana Jones in this by Troy Baker is immaculate. He sounds exactly like Harrison Ford. That's like worth the price of admission if you were going to play that game.
oh,
It's shocking how well rendered he is. So yeah, it's a great DLC. It's very, very good. So play that game. If you see it on sale, definitely snag it. It's on everything. And the last thing I spent the most time on, I platinumed the Outer Worlds. This game was amazing. I loved every second of it. I put about 50 hours into it, platinumed it, did everything. I got all the achievements. Um, I've been kind of barking about this thing kind of for most of the year. It's been my big RPG to kind of play through before the second one hits. Um, it was just so good. Like Obsidian just doesn't miss, dude. Obsidian is so good at making video games. Um, they made New Vegas. They made Knights of the Old Republic 2, Alpha Protocol if you want to get down to it. They also made Avowed that came out this year. They pardon me. They really know how to write good characters. Um, and this game is just full of them. It's full of them. The setting is interesting. It kind of reminds me of a mix between Silver Dollar City and Firefly. That's what the sci-fi world feels like. It feels very, I don't know, Victorian frontier, I guess. Um, very steampunk Firefly. That's the best way I could put it. And I love it. I love the feeling of this game. The tone and the humor of it is awesome. It's like this entire galaxy full of corporate mismanagement. Um, everything costs you. Like when you die, you have to basically when you die, your burial costs get put onto somebody else, and they have to take care of you and pay off your debts if you have any. Like, um, you basically have to buy your own everything. Like every part of your life is touched by corporations, and this game is just really, really well told and created. The main story is fine. It's all the side stuff that I love. The DLC for this thing is immaculate as well. Um, it's just I don't even know where to start with it. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with it because I'm done with it now. But I can't speak highly enough about the Outer Worlds. I'm really excited to see what they do with the second one. They got a lot of money to make the second one, so that's exciting to me. It feels like it's got a lot of juice to it. Um, but basically, like my platinum journey for this was nuts. Like, I'll kind of talk about what I went to get through it, and then we'll kind of move on to what you have, so we can end the games portion. Like, I beat the game. I was like, this is great. I put 25 hours in, so I'm like, okay. what would it take to platinum this game? I don't know. Uh, it turns out it wasn't that hard. It was do a lot of like, hey, you took this path in the story, go back and take this path, talk to this character, get these amount of weapons, do these weapon specific kills, that sort of thing. That stuff was easy enough. The hardest thing about doing everything in this game was Supernova, which is the hardest difficulty in the game. There was like some speed runs I could follow on trophy sites or whatever that were like, hey, you could do this without killing anybody. You could do this without, you could do this in under 20 minutes. But like, I didn't build my character the right way. So I kind of just had to muddle around and do it for myself. And by this point, I'd beaten the game twice to kind of like do everything a different way because there's specific story trophy stuff that you have to do. And once you know what to do, it's very easy to just progress and do the stuff and get to where you need to go. So once I beat the game, it's 25 hours. To do another playthrough was another 8 or so, just playing it on very easy, getting all the other paths. Supernova took me another 20 hours. It was so hard. Like I got killed in 2 shots every time. Um, basically, like there's this to continue on with this game, there's an easy way to get to the end of this game. You can like sell out the guy that unfroze you from cryo sleep to bring about the ending quicker. And if you do so, this like evil character shows up and goes like, "Hey, you can go to the end of this game and do whatever, but you need to resolve this issue on this planet first, and you need to bring this character into us and bring him into custody, right? And if you do these 2 things, sure, you can go to the end of the game. That's basically what they're saying to you. And I'm like, okay, great, awesome, no problem. You go to this planet called Monarch, which is, oh my god, I have horror stories about this world. Like it's hard enough on a regular difficulty. Playing on Supernova, Monarch has so many things trying to kill you. It has like poison swamps, like in a FromSoft game. It has multiple different enemies that aggro you. A lot of animals, a lot of actual human enemies. On Supernova, you have to constantly eat and sleep and drink water, like in I think it's New Vegas has this option too, where you play it on the hardest difficulty. You have to keep up with your like state of your character. You have to keep all this up while playing on the hardest difficulty and being under leveled constantly because you are trying to speed run it, right? So I was constantly under leveled, constantly respecking my character to get what I needed done, and it ended up at this crescendo where to solve this thing quickly, I had to kill the people that were causing all these troubles. So like you can like negotiate with them in the regular path, but the easiest thing to do is to just kill them and resolve it. But the thing that's really hard about it is that one character is on a different side of the map, and going across the map, you have to walk, physically walk. You can't fast travel in anywhere except for your ship. It is insane. Like you can planet hop, but you can't just jump back and forth like you can in the regular main game. So you have that to contend with. Um, that first character I had to kill was easy. I actually was able to snipe him from the launch pad of my ship. I'm like, okay, can I do this? And I just took a couple pot shots at him from this open door. He came out and I was able to snipe him across the map. Like he was so far away, his character model was popping in, just enough so I could headshot him. I'm like, great, okay, that's 1 of 2. I knocked this out. That was awesome. It was kind of fun that you could kind of break the game that way. The other character was so hard to kill because he's surrounded by bodyguards. I'm on the hardest difficulty and I have no weapons. Like I am just totally screwed. So I had just enough character points to respec my character to go all stealth and use long sniper rifle rounds basically to kill him in 1 shot, run as fast as humanly possible out of this compound that is immediately aggroing you as soon as you leave. Like you shoot him, they're on you. Like they are on you, they shoot you immediately. I even have video footage of it I could show you at some point. It was impossible. I was on this section for 5 hours on Saturday. I was like, this is the easiest way to solve this. I can't do it though. I have everything I need, but I am just, it's so hard to do. Like all the dynamic enemy AI, they all descend on you all at once. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to solve this? I spec'd into this stealth route, which is really cool. I love how flexible the system is. There's different ways you can spec. I went all into stealth, and basically there's this perk you get if you max out stealth. Stealth kills will not raise any enemy alarms. I'm like, oh my god, this is a game changer. This changes everything. I sniped this dude. Basically, all the mission parameters for the entire game that is the roadblock for me clears. I'm ready to go to the end game. But the stealth they don't hear the stealth kills, but they see a dead body around me, a foreign character, and they go, "You're dead. You're dead anyway." I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to run." So I'm basically like it has this equivalent of VATS for like Fallout, where you can do like the slow motion and like target a body part. And this one, it's called like TTD, tactical time dilation, and it like slows down so you can shoot. So I'm doing that, popping headshots as I'm like trying to get out of this compound. It was so stressful. But anyway, after I finished that, I finished the rest of the game. I'm like, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done in the game. And then by the time you get to the end, to skip the final boss, I had to respec again to hack into a door, hack into a mainframe, and hack into the robot boss that you fight at the end of the game. And I had just enough points to get it done. It was so stressful. It's one of the greatest RPG experiences I've ever had. Min-maxing my character was so much fun. Just like tinkering with the little RPG stuff in it. It was awesome. Obsidian thought of many ways to beat that game. I was delirious with how much I love that game. The Outer Worlds is a spectacular video game. I think like it's on the short list for some of the best Western RPGs I've ever played. It's up there with Skyrim. It's up there with Fallout 3, New Vegas. It's up there with like The Witcher, I guess that's like a Western RPG. Witcher 3. It's up there, man. It's so good. I love that game to pieces. I'm so excited for the second one. As soon as the second one hits in October, end of October, I'm on it like a fly on shit. So yeah, I platinumed that, and I had such a good time doing so. I put 56 hours by the time I was done. So Outer Worlds, love that game. Loved that game. So um, yeah, that's all I have for games. You had a couple things that you wanted to bring up before we kind of wrap the show up, talk about some media stuff. So you've been looking at what? Chrono Gear, Warden of Time, and Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth, the longest game title of all time. Which one do you want to tackle first?
So yeah, I played a bit of Chrono Gear, Warden of Time before I went on my trip actually, and it I was playing through it, going through the motions, and I was like, I got like an hour and a half through it, and I'm like, I don't know if I actually like this thing or not. Like, it's
Ooh, okay.
plays fine, but it's just like
Interesting.
it didn't really do anything interesting. Like, it seems like a game for like the fans of like the Hololive characters, more so than like
Gotcha.
people who like Metroidvanias with like time mechanics. I was expecting it to be more of like Luna Knights, and I was like, this thing doesn't really hold a candle to Luna Knights in terms of like mechanics or presentation. I think it really is just for like fans of that IP. So I was like, well,
because Luna Knights has a great style to it. I have to say that's a great looking video game.
I have that thing. That I actually have the limited, like the collector's edition of that thing coming in tomorrow on Switch for that for Luna Knights because I wanted to have that collector's edition of that. So I was like, well, maybe I don't like these Metroidvania things, and then I saw that Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth was on sale on Steam through the Steam sales for pretty cheap, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get this thing because this is another Team Ladybug game, so we'll see if I like this thing, and like I'm only like 10 minutes into it, I'm already like, yeah, I like this thing way better. Like I like the style of this thing, I like the movement of this thing. It's not like a like a time mechanic thing, so it's not. I'm probably not gonna. It's not gonna have like that Toho music or those Toho characters that I like, but I do like the record of Lodoss War IP, and so I'll probably play through this thing slowly, and I'm sure there's not a whole lot to it. I've just been like picking up like my starting gear and stuff. Like I got my, you can like pick up weapons off of like enemies, so you get quite a variety of weapons. But most of them are just like stabbing attacks. And then you get like a bow pretty early on. And that's like kind of like your seems like your bread and butter kit is like the bow and the stabbing attacks. So very Castlevania-esque,
Gotcha.
yeah. So
Oh yeah, sure.
even more so than Toho Luna Nights. So yeah.
So yeah, Record of Lodoss War. That's an anime,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Is this
Yep.
just part of that lineage, basically?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
another thing I was
game
going to
tie-in
ask.
for that IP.
Game tie-in. Okay. Another thing I was going to ask: has Hatsune Miku ever gotten an anime? Surely, right?
So they did an animated series for one of her more popular songs, Black Rock Shooter. I haven't actually watched that series yet. I'm not a huge fan of Black Rock Shooters, so which a lot of people
Okay.
like that one. It's by Brio, but I like his
Gotcha.
other work better, basically. But
Mhm.
the and then with like the Project Sakai stuff, they've done some animated things for it. That's kind of how, like that's where most of the popularity is, like in the mainstream of like Japanese culture with Vocaloid stuff these days is with the Project Sakai stuff, like the mobile game tie-in stuff. And that's basically like they have like actual like idol characters with like voice actresses and actors and things like that, and so they have like idol groups mixed with the Vocaloids, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
that's
that's
cool.
very big over in Japan. Like I saw stuff for that all over, whereas you didn't see
Oh
like
yeah.
you saw like some stuff like in terms of like merchandise and stuff for like just the Vocaloids, but like as far as like music wise, like there's not a whole lot of that like being sold in like stores. Like the most of the music you see is like albums from those like groups for Project Sekai rather than just like the Vocaloid stuff. I prefer just the Vocaloid stuff.
Yeah.
But all that to say, they did the Project Sekai movie recently, and I actually watched that in theaters with a couple friends, and we liked it all right. It was pretty good. Had some pretty decent music, pretty decent story to it. And those Sekai characters are pretty all right. Um, they're they're just kind of bland, I guess. It's like the way to put it. Like to me, I just don't see the appeal of those like high school like idol characters. So
Yeah, sure. Hey, we did like Perfect Blue though. That's kind of the same thing, right?
Perfect Blue is an entirely different beast. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
I'm merely joking, but yeah, I agree with you. That is definitely a different beast. My God, what a
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, okay. Record of Lodoss War. So you like this tie-in? That's good. That's
Yeah, I think I'll end up liking this game. Yeah, it's another
okay.
like
Cool.
Team Ladybug. So I think I just like this studio.
Team Ladybug.
I like their Metroidvanias. So I think they have like one more
I
that's
met
like
your
an
yeah.
original IP. So they do a lot of these things. It seems.
Do that. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I actually lied. I have one more game. It's just a check-in. I finished Monster Hunter Wilds with our buddy Slade. Like I said, quick check-in. I like that game. I know you don't. I think that game's just fine. I'm not an
It's
Elder Dragon hunter. I understand your
fine.
trepidation with it, but
It's not even
it's a
just
good game.
the lack of Elder Dragons. I just use that to like sum up my like thoughts on it. It just doesn't have the
Yeah.
variety and depth of like monster hunts as like other
I
games did
I
on
agree with you.
release. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
samey like pieces to that thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. Um, I guess is wanting my time as badly as like a World did or anything before that. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm with you there. I can see where you're coming from. I liked playing it. It feels way casual though. Like it feels
mhm,
like it's more Monster Finder than Monster Hunter. We'll put
mhm,
it that way.
yeah,
Um, it's not bad. It's just different. I mean, it's very casual game, and it's not for everybody, and it's
yeah,
not for the hardcore. I would say, but it's a good game. It's a very good game. Um, I enjoyed the final boss quite a bit actually of the main story, the low rank.
yeah. It's an
I'd like to
alright final
go.
boss.
Yeah, I actually want to kind of probably grind some hunter ranks and do all the Final Fantasy stuff they put in there because I hear it's pretty hard. So
Hmm.
um, I'd like to check it out one of these days. But like I said, there's a lot going on, so maybe I
Mhm.
won't get to it. But yeah, it's a great game. I'm glad I got that off my plate. Slade and I played about 3 or 4 hours of that the other night, and just blitzed the rest of that game,
Yeah,
and it was fun doing so. I
it's
really
not
like
hard
doing
to
that
get
with
through
you. So
that main story, especially the low rank. The low rank stuff is
no,
basically just a big tutorial. So
yeah, it took me like 11, 12 hours probably
yeah,
altogether. So yeah, I don't know when I'll come back to it, but I enjoyed my time. Inset Glaive forever. That's how I feel. So
yeah. You
but
probably
yeah,
missed
that's
my my dual horn gameplay, so that made
I
us
mean, yeah, we were really honestly the last boss we didn't even go down once.
yeah,
So it was it was very easy that way, but it was
yeah,
it was cool to see the look of that thing. The way the animation for the monsters is top notch in that game. I think they're really cool looking.
yeah,
All the stuff they have in there. But that's a lot of video games. We talked about a lot of video games here. We'll restock up for next time, and probably get some updates on a lot of stuff we started. At least I will. So that's kind of where we're at there. To kind of wrap this thing up, you been watching or reading anything interesting? Any stuff you brought back with you from your Japanese travails or winding down when you get home? How you been finding some other media?
yeah. I mean, I've finished a lot of like the seasonals, like the this season's kind of finished up now. So
Yeah.
I've finished stuff like a City of Animation that was fantastic.
I need to get on that.
And
I really do.
I yeah I just kind of I just finished seasonals, and then I was bored one day, and was like wanting to watch something, and so I was going through like my collection of like bulk anime DVDs, and I found one that looked interesting enough called like Elemental Jade or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that, and it's it's like early 2000s sort of um
Sure.
shonen fantasy sort of thing, so I like it.
hmm
Um,
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah. So I've been watching a little
Okay.
bit of that. I'm gonna finish that up at some point. Or watch more of that at some
Yeah.
point. But yeah. So just a lot of finishing of seasonal isekai and things like that. I like my seasonal isekai.
hmm
And completed Kaiju number 8 season 2, Dan season 2. Kaiju number 8 ends on a really nasty cliffhanger actually, but
Ooh,
um,
damn. Yeah,
I
that's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
and then I've started up more crappy isekai because I like my crappy isekai. There's one that's gonna be a real stinker, I think, this season. Hero without a class. Who even needs skills? get this. So this guy,
Ooh.
his parents have really good like jobs with like really good skills, right? Because they're in like an RPG
Uh,
fantasy setting. But this
ooh.
guy, he's classless. He doesn't have a class, and so everyone
Oh
thinks he's super
no.
weak, but he's actually really strong.
Oh my gosh. This is just solo
Ah.
leveling, but bad. Yeah, that's funny. I'm F rank actually. I suck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love those things so much. I've watched so many that are
You're like,
like
LOL, I'm actually goaded, and you just rip off some crazy
it's
magic. Yeah.
so fun
Yeah.
to watch them. Like they're so terrible, but I enjoy them so much. There's some that are
It's
alright.
comfort food, you know.
Yeah. There's some that are actually
Yeah,
pretty
I get
alright.
it.
Like I parry everything is actually pretty decent, I think. But
Good name. I parry
yeah,
everything. I
yeah.
like that.
It's literally a dude that like the only skill he can do well is parrying, and so he just parries everything. Like no attack can get through to him
So
because he just parries everything.
he's like one deflect man. That's fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
basically, yep. It's fun. Stuff like that's fun. I think that those sort of
That
things are.
reminds me of a game I've played before called Way of the Passive Fist, which is like pacifist, and you just parry attacks until they get exhausted, and then you poke them and they fall over. I'm like that kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of that. So yeah, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I've been watching anime here and there. I'm back on One Piece in a nasty way. Um, I forgot to say this at the top because we were talking about Japan. I almost had a close call with my glasses today. I almost lost the lens of my glasses. It fell off my face, hit the ground, and went flying across the floor. And I couldn't find it for a while, and I had to come back after lunch and hunt for it. But my anime watching was almost halted, so I'm glad that's no longer the case. But yeah, some anime for me, nothing too crazy. A lot of football. It's football season. That's the most I'm watching. But the wife and I have been watching a lot of Halloween stuff. We watched Halloween 1 and 2, or Halloween Town 1 and 2, I should say. The Disney classics, Disney Channel classics. Love those movies. Well, the first one's great. The second one's a bore fest, but the first one's awesome. We watched Corpse Bride. Love that movie. That movie's awesome. It's a very Nightmare Before Christmas sort of look and feel. What else have we seen? Fear Street. I think I brought that up on the last podcast. That was a good time. We're just watching a lot of horror stuff. Tis the season, right? Tis the season. So that's kind of what we're into. And then I don't know if I ever brought this up. I finished Finland Saga, all of it. I was so in the tank for it. I read the fan translated last final chapters of that thing, and I just, the ending was such a gut punch. I didn't expect it to end that way, and it's just, it is the most I've felt for any characters in a manga. I think it's beautifully told, amazing art. It's just, man, Yukimura did not miss once. That entire series is so good. It gets better as it goes along. Like, you think, okay, so the idea is like, hey, a very violent man decides to become pacifist, basically in a world that does not allow it. And how does he navigate that, right? Um, and as the story continues, it becomes increasingly harder to stay a pacifist, like to the point where like you're not doing your job protecting your clan, sort of thing. Like you are just letting people run roughshod over your people. Like, what do you do about that? Just to keep to a certain code. And they really explore that in really interesting ways here. It is the best. It's one of the best pieces of literature I've ever read. The writing's incredible. The message is just an all timer. The whole idea of you have no enemies is so potent, and it's so felt in those last few chapters. I cannot express enough that you need to play or need to read that manga for yourself. I think you should read it before you watch the show. It's going to take a while for them to cover it because season two only covers like the second of like maybe four parts, I would say. um, it's amazing. It's amazing. There is 14 volumes out. It just recently ended. The last chapter, I don't think it's going to fill a full volume. It's just going to be probably like a small book. Um, it's an all timer. It's the best thing I've ever read as a manga. It's that good. So, Vinland Saga is a true masterpiece of the medium. It took him 20 years to write it and draw it and all that, and it's impeccable stuff. It really is. So that's all I have. I mean, do you have anything else you want to kind of end on? I feel pretty satisfied with what we talked about here. Very game focused show, I will say.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty good to me.
Okay. Yeah. So next week I'm going to definitely talk about Ghost of Gote. I think that's the next thing I'm gonna take a peek at. It just came out tonight. I'm not playing it till tomorrow, obviously, but um that baby steps I'm gonna look at. That's kind of a, I don't know, like mechanic swap game. It's like a, hey, getting over it with Bennett Foddy sort of thing. One of these like streamer games that they're like, oh, the movement is shitty, like get over it, sort of thing.
I've
Um,
seen the thing, yeah.
one of those games. It's
Mm,
like a co-op. It's like a co-op. We'll call it that.
yeah.
But it seems interesting. It seems more like an exercise in frustration. But I'm like, I'll check it out. So I'm going to take a look at that. I want to look at the Mario Galaxy remasters. I want to see how those go. Nightmares 3 comes out next week, and also Final Fantasy Tactics re-release came out, and I hear it's excellent. So I want to play that. They added voice acting to that game and some quality of life stuff. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's and also I want to check back in with Chronos since it's spooky times. I'm playing a lot of spooky games, so lot a lot of stuff. And honestly, what is it? I think Pokemon comes out the 16th. Oh my god! I think by the next time we record, I think Pokemon might be out, um, which is insane. That's insane. I think it comes out the day we record next time. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk about Shampoo stuff. I'll kind of see where I'm at. I want to finish that off. It's been too long, so I want to get that done. You finished your rewatch. You gotta wait on me. So, and then we'll talk about more FromSoft stuff in the future. We're just getting our legs back underneath us. So bear with us. And yeah, thanks for listening. This has been Stick Drift, episode 23. I think it's 23. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
It's one of them.
be nice to your mothers and fathers. Give them kisses and hugs for us. We love you. Goodbye, XOXO.
Real.